At AJ's Natural Shop.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
You will find the best vitamins, herbs, and everything natural at amazingly low prices. I'm Anita, one of the owners of AJ's.
Make sure you all like the video before we get started, and if you're new here, subscribe. You're going to love this show. I promise you that. Oh, man. A lot going on, a lot to talk about today.
Call AJ's today. 954-317-1851. 954-317-1851.
Hi, this is Lori Kane, and I want to talk to you about Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. I just love Dr. Gupta. I've been seeing him for around 3 years. He always has time for me. He never does unnecessary work, and his prices are very affordable. And if you need implants, go see him because he has the best prices around. Let me give you the number. Write it down. It's 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633, BrightonDentalCare.com. He's just the best.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel and the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Here we go. My mouse. There we go.
Dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1. And now, here's...
All right, guys, welcome to the program. 3 minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning. It is Monday, December 6th, 2021. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We have a lot to talk about, including the beginning of the end of Kamala Harris's career and much, much more. But before we get started, I want to ask everyone in this listening audience, if you don't mind, to put one of our listeners, Sarah, in your prayers. She has been in the hospital for over 2 weeks now, and she has the COVID, and prayer does work, and if you could all keep her in your prayers, that would be spectacular. I know a lot of you know her. She went on our last cruise with us, and 15 days in the hospital is a long time. So if you guys could do that, I would greatly appreciate it. All right, well, there's just been, and I know she will too, because I do talk to Sarah, and she does say that your prayers mean a lot to her and have helped her out a great deal. There's a lot of things that broke over the weekend. I want to start, though, with beware of this new host that they've brought in to temporarily audition for Chris Cuomo's slot on CNN, and that's Michael Smerconish. I'm very familiar with Michael Smerconish. A lot of you may be as well. This guy's a snake. I've listened to his radio show. I've seen him on television, and there's an article here. I just go through this article about him, then we'll talk as we go. Sirius XM radio host Michael Smerconish, who has a weekend show on CNN, is slated to temporarily replace Chris Cuomo on CNN's primetime slot this week, according to Variety, and obviously this is an audition. A former Republican who is now a registered independent. All right. Now, the first time I heard of Michael Smerconish was when Obama was president. I don't remember if this was the first or second term of Obama. My recollection is first term, but it could have been. It doesn't matter which one. I think it was early in his presidency. Smerconish left the Republican Party, became an independent, and then he scored this big interview with Obama, and that's what got him out there as a known person. So goes the story. Okay, just to remember that. A former Republican who is now a registered independent, Smerconish has hosted a variety of programs across news mediums, including his radio show, which is weekdays. his Saturday CNN show. He has also authored 7 books, 2 of which are New York Times bestsellers. Do you think Miranda Devine's book is going to be on the New York Times bestseller list? Is it? We're going to talk about that too, because I have that book. It is amazing. Michael Smerconish launched his career in politics at a young age and was appointed at the age of 29 to serve in the Department of Housing and Urban Development under President George Herbert Walker Bush's administration. He publicly broke with the Republican Party to endorse Barack Obama, citing the party's failure to capture al-Qaeda leaders Osama bin Laden and al-Zawahiri following 9/11. Okay. This independent. You know what I find with most independents? Most independents. You know what they are? They're independent, independently liberal. And I want you to really think about this, okay? I know a lot of people get ticked off at the Republican Party. I'm with you. But in most states, when it comes to the primaries, you can only vote for like here in Florida, you can only vote in the primaries for candidates that are in the party in which you're registered. Some states have crossover primaries. So no matter how disgusting the Republicans are, and they do get pretty bad, these establishment guys, you have to stay registered a Republican to participate in the primary process. If Republicans fed up with the Republican Party left and became registered independents throughout this country, you wouldn't be able to vote for President Trump in the primaries for the 2024 presidential election season. Okay, so that's one thing. The second thing is this. Okay? Now, again, you can be fed up with Republicans and leave the Republican Party and become an independent. I understand why people do that. I don't agree with it because of what I just said, but I understand that. It is a whole nother deal to go from being a Republican, Bush-Reagan conservative, which is what he is or was, to leaving the party and voting for Barack Obama. In 2008, this Smerconish character. I mean, think about it. So what is his deal, Smerconish? What is Smerconish's deal? There are many people that, like I have done, when you grow up and mature and see the world in its proper light, when your brain finishes developing, a lot of people, when they're young, are Democrats and become Republicans for various reasons. Okay? That makes sense. You grow up, you realize all that, I'm not going to go through a list like Hannity. You guys know what I mean. Part of the growing up process, part of maturing, is going from Democrat to Republican, liberal to conservative. It's very childlike to be an adult liberal. Going from Bush-Reagan conservative, he even worked in Bush 41's administration, Smerconish. How can you go from that to voting for a guy who is tax and spend liberal, pro-choice, pro-gay marriage, and he says over the bin Laden thing, against American intervention anywhere on the planet, which is Obama? How can you go from a conservative to voting for Barack Obama? You would have to be a complete fraud. So I don't trust this guy, Smerconish. At least I know what Cuomo is all about. At least I know what Don Lemon is all about. At least I know what Anderson Cooper is all about. This guy is a snake. Okay. When he left the Republican Party, he said this in an article that he wrote for Salon in 2008, which is a liberal publication. This is Smerconish, the new temporary replacement auditioning for Chris Cuomo's slot. The Bush administration's failure to orchestrate a successful counterterrorism plan, one topped off with justice for Osama bin Laden and al-Zawahiri, has left me embarrassed of my party and angry. The oft-repeated explanations of the search being nuanced or conflicting difficult terrain should have worn thin long ago. And that is when he became an independent and voted for Obama? And you got to understand, when Smerconish left the Republican Party and endorsed Obama, That's when that Reverend Jeremiah Wright business was coming up, when he was praising 9/11, saying we got what we deserved. And remember, Jeremiah Wright is the man who married Barack to Michelle, baptized the Obama children, and he was a member of the church his whole adult life. So how can he cite Smerconish, bin Laden not being captured? And I believe there was a very smart reason for that, which I'll tell you in a second. But how can you go from that to supporting a guy, endorsing a man, Barack Obama, whose preacher was praising what bin Laden did, saying we got what we deserved, and Obama wouldn't condemn him? Remember that? And this was after Obama came out and accused his white grandmother of being a hardcore racist. When she saw a black man get on the bus that she did not know, she would grab, as a typical white person, she would grab onto her purse. Remember when that, So this guy's a snake, Smerconish. I know he's very pleasant and very unoffensive. Do not trust Smerconish. On Saturday, Smerconish was announced as the temporary replacement for Chris Cuomo, who CNN fired earlier that day for his involvement in attempting to mitigate the sexual harassment scandal that resulted in his brother resigning. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this guy, do not trust Smerconish. Something stinks about this man. Something stinks. Now, if any of you have any other intel on Smerconish, I welcome it. There was a reason why they didn't take out bin Laden for a long, long time, and I believe the reason bin Laden was allowed to continue breathing, bin Laden, is because he was a source of intelligence. They knew where he was for years in that compound in Pakistan, and they were spying on him. He was a source of intelligence on Al-Qaeda, and he was isolated because he couldn't travel too much, and they were monitoring everything. And Barack Obama took out bin Laden, not because they discovered where he was, they knew where he was for years, but they came up with a slogan, right? Bin Laden's dead and GM's alive. They had this slogan they wanted to use, so they did that. In fact, Biden was against taking out bin Laden, and I suspect it's for the reason I just said. So something stinks about this guy, Smerconish, and I've seen him both on television and I've heard his radio show quite a few times. And he has a pleasant speaking voice, and he has a way of never being controversial and sounding very non-offensive. That in itself is offensive to me. And they are planning on replacing Cuomo with him if he does okay. He's at the top of the list. All right, our number is toll-free. It's a new week. It's the 6th of December, and there's a lot going on. Oh, man, we got a lot to talk about. I'm going to get into this new stuff with Kamala. We'll talk about the Chris Cuomo business, and about 3/4 of the way into the Miranda Devine book. We'll talk about that and much, much more. Your calls are also welcome at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. That's 888-465-2631. Oh man, Smerconish, what would President Trump say? What a beaut. Yeah, he's a real beaut. I would definitely agree with that one. Now, of course, this segment of the Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow, and here we are in Christmas shopping season. And I don't care who's on your gift-giving list. It can be your children, your grandchildren, your employees, your boss, yourself, your spouse. Okay, whoever is on your Christmas gift-giving list, your holiday gift-giving list, there is something for them at MyPillow.com. Now go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener specials, and with the promo code Kane, there are incredible deals. The biggest deal they've ever had at MyPillow.com is available with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, on the radio listener specials at MyPillow.com. And that, of course, is 50% off the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, the thickest mattress topper that Mike Lindell and MyPillow make. It's the mattress topper I sleep on. It will change your life. 50% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Comes in a great box that is perfect for wrapping. no matter who's on your gift-giving list, you'll find something for them there. And, of course, whatever special you see at MyPillow.com, you can take advantage of with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. But 50% off the MyPillow mattress topper, that would be at the top of my list. This is a special that will not be permanent. I asked them to extend it for you and the Steve Kane listening audience last week, and they did it. So go and check that out and order yours with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to the Steve Kane Show.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option to ensure you make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
Hey guys, welcome back. 18 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's K-A-N-E, and the number 1-888-465-2631. What is going on with Kamala? Do any of you guys have any theories about all these staffers leaving? This is very strange to me. Would they be leaving if they thought she was going to be Presidente? I don't know. And there's some new stuff out. Kamala Harris described as a bully and soul-destroying boss. That's pretty hardcore. A bully and soul-destroying boss. I'm not going to say who, but I've had a boss that I would describe not just as a bully, but soul-destroying. Yeah, and maybe some of you have too. And there's a great article in the New York Post. Vice President Kamala Harris is described as a bully in a new report that brands her as the common denominator behind a recent exodus of high-level staffers. You know, you got to realize these are people that are leaving jobs in the White House. And she's hardly there, and she still is able to bully them, even though she's hardly there. For someone to quit, and they got multiple people, to quit jobs in the White House, that's bad. That's hardcore. I mean, they really have to be really, really, really fed up. Kamala Harris's allegedly soul-destroying management style was revealed by staffers to the Washington Post. See, this is interesting. See, these are all liberals. This isn't like Breitbart has a story. These are liberal staffers talking to the very liberal Washington Post, the paper that brought us Watergate. Kamala Harris's allegedly soul-destroying management style was revealed by staffers to the Washington Post just days after spokesperson and longtime aide Simone Sanders announced her departure. Who are the next talented people you're going to bring in and burn through and then have them pretend they're retiring for positive reasons? Former Kamala Harris aide Gil Duran told the Washington Post. Gil Duran said that Kamala Harris's destructive patterns, these are his words, were behind the recent turmoil and exit of Sanders and communication director Ashley, I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name. One of the things we've said in our little text groups among each other, these are the Kamala staffers, they got text groups talking about her. One of the things we've said in our little text groups among each other is what the common denominator through all this, and it's her, meaning Kamala Harris, done said. One former staffer claimed the vice president fails to read briefing materials, then lashes out at others when she is unprepared. It's clear that you're not working with somebody who is willing to do the prep and the work, the staffer said. Oh man, this is bad, which is good. With Kamala, you have to put up with a constant amount of soul-destroying criticism and also her own lack of confidence. So you're constantly sort of propping up a bully, and that's not really clear why. Yeah, because she's stupid. She's never done anything. She's never earned any position she's had, right? We know how she got where she's at. You know, and she's a fool. She doesn't prepare, and she's got the mind of a chipmunk, and she feels overwhelmed because she doesn't understand what's going on. And as a typical liberal, she's got to blame everyone around her for her problems. Another former staffer said, although Kamala Harris is a demanding boss, she is not unreasonable. I've never had an experience in my long history where I felt she was unfair, said Sean Clegg, who worked with her in 2008. When she was district attorney. Yes. Well, what do you think this is all about? Are they making a move to kick her out so they can appoint Mayor Pete or someone else to the vice presidency that they can run in 24? What's going on here? This is very unusual. This is very unusual. They want, the Bidens want Kamala gone. They want her gone. They want to plug in someone else that they think is an electable person. She's an incompetent, unlikable person. She's not electable. It's a big move here. All right, our number 1-888-GO, Kane 1-888-465-2631. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike in Louisiana. You sound a little low energy today, you all right?
Well, I don't want to sound too much like Jeb Bush.
Oh, okay.
But I'm trying not to sound like it. But look, these people that take these jobs like staffer for senators, for presidents, for vice presidents, they take them in the hopes that at some point it would help their own career, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're getting people that are saying these things about her, we know she's a bad person. We know she's got a bad personality, right? You know, Kamala does. You know, so we know that about her. But they probably, these people that are leaving probably see no place forward for her to go, number one. And if she has no place forward to go in her career, then they have no place.
Well, no, what the Washington Post story is saying is all of these people have been fired, and the White House has let them pretend that they're moving on their own. That it's a confirmation that they've all been fired by Kamala. Kamala has fired, including this Sanders lady that just left. Kamala has fired all of them and has had blow-ups because she is unprepared and can't handle the press or the job, and she doesn't even read her briefings. She's firing them. None of these people have left on their own. She has fired them, is what the story says.
Kind of makes you wonder, when she was U.S. Senator, you know, if she was burning through staff even then.
Well, see, the problem is senators, members of Congress don't do anything, especially senators, because they only run every 6 years. They have yay, nay, present, a couple committee appearances on television, that's it. Now, because of Biden's problems, she's viewed as someone who they expect to be she has to be able to perform because she may have to be the nominee next time around and cover for him. She was president for a few hours a few weeks ago, and they want her out. There's a move by senior people at the White House to get rid of Kamala Harris, and that's why these things are coming out in the liberal Washington Post. And the word is, people are saying that they want her out and bring in a new vice president for Biden to appoint, and they're talking about Mayor Pete Buttigieg.
That he would actually choose Mayor Pete.
Yeah. You know, gay marriage is legal in this country because of Joe Biden. He did an interview. Obama was opposed to gay marriage, openly opposed to it, and Biden did an interview when he was vice president and said that Barack wanted it. And this interview embarrassed Obama into coming out in support of something he was against, gay marriage. So Joe Biden has always been in favor of the gays. So yeah, I can see him appointing Mayor Pete. No doubt about it.
I mean, that's the thing. Now, the other question is, are they going to feel that somebody like Mayor Pete has a shot?
Well, the way it works is if the vice president's out, the president nominates somebody, and it's like appointing a cabinet position, kind of, and that's it. Boom, it happens. That's the way it is.
No, what I'm saying is in 2024, because we know...
Oh, no, he's not electable. He's a detestable person. He's inexperienced. He's incompetent. He hasn't accomplished anything positive in his life. Black people hate him, and he's weird. Hey, listen, take care. Oh, last night, this is like 3 months old stuff. My wife and I, we were watching the first, this just reminded me of Mayor Pete, we watched the first episode of the new season of Survivor with Jeff Probst. We're Survivor fans, and we watch it online, so we don't, we'll watch it without the commercials, for a while. And this is woke Survivor like I've never seen. At the very beginning of Survivor, Jeff Probst has all the tribe members out there. And they're getting ready to have the first competition of the show. And I never realized this until Jeff Probst pointed it out, but he thinks he's got a catchphrase that when the tribes show up for a competition on Survivor, he has a catchphrase. I did not know this, even though I've watched Survivor for 20 years. And the catchphrase is, "Come on, guys, let's go." And he had asked the contestants if he should no longer say, "Come on, guys." Is it not inclusive enough? I'm not kidding. Is saying guys offensive? And sure enough, one of the guys who's gay and is a flight attendant, male flight attendant, he told Jeff Probst that he doesn't like guys. Well, he likes guys. He's gay, but he doesn't like him saying guys to everyone to come on over, that it's not inclusive enough. He says, there's gays, there's blacks and Hispanics here now, and that's just not... Now, again, the first winner of Survivor, Richard Hatch, was openly gay. The first winner of Survivor was an openly gay man, Richard Hatch. Remember that season? So he will no longer say, "Come on, guys." He's going to say, "Let's go," or "Come on." I don't know. He's going to drop guys because it's not inclusive to the many genders and others that are out there. And that, I know, it's woke Survivor. In that context, guys doesn't mean men. Guys just means a group of people. It's not it doesn't mean men, boys. It means a group of people. I don't know. It's very strange, very woke. I know, isn't it weird? And I'll tell you, I don't know if they've got any straight people on Survivor this season. It's like LGBTQ Survivor. Anyway, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. It is 6:30 in the morning. I'm Brian Craig. We'll be right back after this, guys. Anyone offended? Give me a break.
AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Brian Craig here. When it comes to auto repair, you want a garage that you can trust. Someone that will only do work on your car when your car needs work. Introducing Champagne Automotive in Boca Raton, the latest sponsor of the Steve Kane Radio Show.
I know. Isn't it strange?
To tell us about his
You're supposed to be out there being tough, but their feelings are hurt over hearing Jeff Probst say guys.
I spent the last 2 days trying to get brakes for my car. I was leaving the house yesterday to go try another place that had a lower price. They wanted $800 for brakes, and that advertisement came on for Champagne. I live in Western Tamarack. I said, let me take a drive up there. Well, I was almost blown over how friendly, honest, old school these people people are.
Old school, that's really the term that really describes it.
But let me tell you, the guy I had gone through previously won $800. He said, well, you need to change your power steering fluid. And Ed, the owner, put the car up in the lift, pulled the wheels, says, you don't need brakes. And I about fell over.
Wow, well, tell me the end of the story. You got me hooked.
So it wasn't that your vehicle was misdiagnosed at the other place. You were dealing with a crook.
Oh, absolutely. This guy wanted to sell me everything but a washing machine. I don't want that.
Now, this is our new sponsor. We have wanted for a long time to have an auto repair shop. When it comes to auto repair, that is the most difficult category for us to find as an advertiser, because most are like this guy you were dealing with the other day over in Tamarack. They're crooks. And we found Champagne Automotive. Ed, who's the owner, is a listener of the program. They come very, very highly recommended. So I appreciate you calling in and telling us the good story. Now, Champagne Automotive, they're in Boca off Spanish River Boulevard, immediately west of Dixie Highway. The number is 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option to ensure you make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, welcome back, everyone. 33 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Okay. When we are not on the air live, our call-in number, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, is forwarded to our voicemail. You've heard me talk about this, and people leave messages. Sometimes I play them on the air. Over the weekend, I got some of the most vile, disgusting messages from men over the weekend, not just overnight listeners, throughout the weekend, at all times of the day and the night. You know, you call 1-888-GO-KANE-1 when we're not on the air. It goes to our voicemail. And I was going to play some of them on the radio this morning. And at the last minute, I changed my mind. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. We're here live, and when I say we, I mean me and Steve Kane are here live from 6 until 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. And if you cowardly girly men, if you can call this program between those hours and say your nasty, disgusting, outrageous comments to us live on the air for us to respond to. And I mean it. I've heard some hardcore stuff from listeners on our voicemail. What I got over the weekend, it was like a group of friends, old men but friends, leaving disgusting messages, calling us out on this, that, and everything else. And then I realized, you know what, I'm not. I almost did. I had all the audio ready to go this morning, and I deleted it all. No one's heard it but me, not even Steve. You can call us live on the air. And we'll deal with it on the air, live. Not with your cowardly way out. And it's very strange. The times, just strange times. 7:30 in the morning on Sunday, 1:34 in the afternoon on Saturday, 2:13 a.m., at different times, different voices, different names, but content so similar. Obviously a group of pathetic men. But we're here live. We take your calls. You can call us out on the air. Now, you can't use some of the language that you used on the phone messages because we're on the air live. I'm sorry. You'll have to clean up your language a little bit. But you call us on the air, and we'll deal with it on the air. I made a YouTube video on Saturday morning in regards to Miranda Devine's book on Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, Laptop from Hell. And I got the Kindle edition of the book. You know, to get a physical copy of the book, it's on back order. It is sold out. They have no print copies to send out. It's like 2-3 weeks to get it. So I got the Kindle Thursday, and then I went to Orlando on Saturday. So I had a 3-hour drive up, 3 hours back. So I have an Audible subscription where you get like a book a month for free, you know, as a subscriber, because I like books on tape when I'm in the car. So I got Miranda Devine's book, Laptop from Hell. Now, I was shocked. As corrupt as you think Joe Biden is, he's a choir boy compared to how bad he really is, that you learn in this book from Miranda. In fact, I was in the car. I left my house Saturday morning at about 4:30 in the morning, 4:35 in the morning, and I downloaded the book on Audible, Laptop from Hell, before I got on the road, and I was listening to it, and it's the Bidens are so criminal, so sleazy, so disgusting. I was getting overwhelmed. And it's this Laptop from Hell book, what it is, most everything in it is just going through what was found on the laptop. And Hunter Biden documents everything. He puts everything in writing. And there's a lot of correspondence with him and his father. Give you an example. Hunter, after he's on a drug binge in Los Angeles and gets banned from this hotel in Hollywood because he's so bad with his he was in a he gets an email from a federal judge who wants an appointment to a higher federal court in D.C. So he writes Hunter Biden about it. Hunter Biden writes Joe, and then he and Joe have a correspondence with each other about this. And there's correspondence between Hunter and Joe about Hunter saying, don't appoint anyone to anything without talking to me first, that he put together a list of appointees at all levels of government, Hunter. There's one story, there are a few things we've heard a little bit about that you get more detail on. There was one that was completely insane. Hunter Biden is on a drug bender in Los Angeles at this big celebrity hotel, and he hires a prostitute who's there for the weekend, and he goes to pay her. He owes her $8,000, and his credit card won't go through. So he goes through several cards, about 4 or 5 cards. None of them go through. $8,000. Then he finds one where it does go through. So he pays her the $8,000 on the credit card through Zillow, and then she leaves. The next morning, he wakes up. All the charges he thought that didn't go through went through. And he ended up paying this prostitute $25,000. And there's very detailed exchanges, both text and emails, about all of this. His text messages are on his laptop too. You know how it works with Apple. You got your text messages from your phone. It's through the cloud. It's connected to your iPad, connected to your laptop, connected to your desktop, etc., etc. So everything's on this desktop. So he wakes up in the morning and finds out that he had paid this prostitute $25,000. He only owed her 8, and the reason it was that amount, with even though there were like 4 or 5 charges, is because he kept trying to put through different lower amounts, like $3,500, to trying to pay her something. So all these charges go through. Then, out of the blue, he gets a text message from a man who was a retired Secret Service agent. He was on Joe's detail when he was vice president, and this is all in Miranda Devine's book. He's a retired director of the Secret Service. He's in the lobby of this LA hotel. He text messages Hunter to meet him in the lobby. This is the morning that these $25,000 in charges on multiple credit cards of Hunter's went through to this prostitute. Hunter text messages him, "I'll be down in 5 minutes." He doesn't show up in the lobby. So the retired Secret Service director text messages Hunter again. He doesn't respond. Then a second retired Secret Service agent shows up in the lobby. So you've got a retired Secret Service agent and a retired director of the Secret Service in the lobby. They text Hunter again and say that if you don't come down here now, if you don't call the front desk and tell them to give us a key, we're going to make them give us a key. Then then he says, "Just wait, I'll be there in a few minutes. I'm in the shower, I'm in the bathroom." Then there's another text from the Secret Service to Hunter, these retired Secret Service guys. "We're at the front door, let us in." So he lets him into the hotel room, and one of the credit cards that he paid the hooker with, where the charges went through, is Joe Biden is on that credit card too. I don't know if it was Joe's credit card or he was just an authorized user. But he paid a prostitute with a Joe Biden credit card. And Joe must have found out about it and called his cleaners. And they came over to fix it. It's insane. This is in Miranda Devine's book, Laptop from Hell. And I would recommend getting the audiobook edition so you can hear it read aloud. I mean, that's just one story of corruption. A couple little stories there. It was so hardcore as I was going through this. It's frightening to me that this is what's running America right now. I pulled over, I got off the Florida Turnpike into a rest stop and parked the car, and I did a live stream on YouTube talking about it. It was so intense, and it was dark out, I was like freaked out, so I had to pull off the road just to wind down a little bit. About 3/4 of the way through the book. It's frightening. It's frightening. I mean, I knew Joe was a bad guy. I didn't realize he was this bad. It also details Joe Biden's connection to the mob and how that happened in his early days in the Senate. In fact, the mob were behind him in his first race for the United States Senate. They were backers of him the first time he ran for the Senate. That's all detailed here. Hunter Biden puts everything in writing. And everything that's detailed in Miranda Devine's book, most all of it is from that laptop. It's insane. It's insane. And why Fox News isn't doing an hour each night on a section of that book, I don't get it. I've never seen anything like this before. There's a lot of details in there about Biden's recent dealings with China. In fact, everything's detailed in this book. Biden was so corrupt when he was vice president that Obama and Obama's staff intervened and stopped him from meeting with people that were buying him off in the White House, so he'd have to meet them elsewhere. And it is, one of the things I took from the book. Well, let me take our break, and then I'll tell you after the break, all right? It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. I'm Brian Craig. We'll be right back.
Ryan Craig here. Conservative Doug called me up live on the air to tell me about his experience at Friendly Tire.
I had two ball ties in the back of my Infiniti. I called them up, and I always check prices first. Half the price of everybody else.
Half the price? Half the price at Friendly Tire. Wow.
Half the price, and not only that, his tires, which nobody had, the tires I was looking at had any mileage guarantee. That is a 60,000 mile warranty. So they're not only half the price, the price is good.
So you're a repeat customer over there at Friendly Tire. You bought new tires, right? So you bought new tires, because they also sell used tires, starting at just $30 for most sizes. So you bought new tires, and they were half the
Yeah,
price
yeah.
at Friendly Tire than at
Exactly.
That is phenomenal, and came with a 60,000 mile warranty on the tires. That's great. And of course, Friendly Tire, they never charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or dispose of your old tires. The price that they give you are out the door and on the road. And
Rick, everybody should go there. I don't know how anybody can buy tires anyplace else. This guy is the best prices.
That's right. That's right. Listen, give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call. His number, 954-977-9445. He'll give you a quote right over the phone, 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net, or you can just stop right in. The address is listed at stevekaneshow.com. 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate, and that's just a little north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Well, Conservative Doug, thanks so much, and I'm glad you got such a great deal on your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Traveling, you need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Applewood Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the northwest corner of University Park in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5988. To tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, and let me tell you a little bit more about this incredible deal. 50% off the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper, the thickest mattress topper that Mike Lindell makes. Is the mattress topper that I sleep on each and every night. Mike Lindell says, I personally guarantee it's going to change your bed into the most comfortable bed you will ever own. That is so true. I can attest to that. Now, the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper is made of 3 layers. Layer 1, the MyPillow patented foam. It's a solid piece that provides superior support and durability. Layer 2, transitional foam that provides optimal comfort, evenly distributes body weight to help relieve those pressure points. Certainly does that. Layer 3 is a cover made from phase change material to keep your body temperature regulated through the night. Yeah, that's like space-age technology there. You're never too hot, you're never too cold, you're always just right, like Goldilocks. It has a zippered removable cover that is both washable and dryable, which I have done. There's a strap on each corner which holds it into place, and no matter what you do, that mattress topper does not move, slip, or slide. There's no wires, no remotes, no moving parts. Comes with a 10-year warranty, a 60-day money-back guarantee, and not that you'll need that. And, of course, it is made right here in the USA. Comes in every size from twin all the way up through king, California king, split king, RV queen, queen, full, twin XL. Whatever size mattress there is, they have a mattress topper for it. Go to MyPillow.com. Click on the radio listener specials. 50% off the MyPillow mattress topper. It will change your life. Makes a great gift. Comes in a perfect size box to wrap and put under the tree. Or you can have it delivered straight to the recipient. That works too. Make sure you use the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, or give them a call and order by phone. 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, KANE. Yeah, so I'm 3/4 of the way through Laptop from Hell, Miranda Devine's book. There's also some text messages from Joe's brother to Hunter, asking him to send him his $80,000, it's like 88, 89, I can't remember the exact amount, it's almost 90,000, his $80-some thousand monthly consulting fee. He hadn't gotten paid yet. What's he consulting on for $80,000 a month? Boy, would I like to know. And, you know, this is when things got screwed up from Biden. You pick this up in the book. By the way, if any of you have read any of this book, I welcome your calls. I mean, I'm like shocked at what I've been finding in Miranda Devine's book. Things got really screwed up for them when Beau died. It messed up their whole scam. Hunter, from the moment he was in college, was groomed to do all the corruption. Beau, they kept squeaky clean. Beau kept squeaky clean, and he was supposed to replace Joe in the Senate. And then who knows after that. But they had plans for him to follow in his dad's footsteps and take Joe Biden's Senate seat after he was governor of Delaware. And he was going to continue the favors for the family in exchange for humongous payouts. And Hunter was the crook in the family. And when Beau passed away, it messed up everything. That's why he ran for president, Joe Biden. They had pissed through all the money. They'd been blowing it. They split it many different ways. Joe gets half, and then the other half is split among the family, and they blow it. I mean, they have an expensive lifestyle, and they have people in the family with addiction issues. Even in law school, listen to this. This is amazing. When Hunter wanted to go to law school, he wanted to go to Harvard. He couldn't get into Harvard. He didn't meet the qualifications to get into Harvard. This is when Joe was in the Senate and Bill Clinton was president. Bill Clinton, when he was president, from the Oval Office, took a break from Monica. He called the then president of Harvard Law School and asked him to make an exception and intervene and get Hunter Biden admitted to Harvard Law School. And he said he wouldn't do it and couldn't do it and didn't do it. So Hunter went to Georgetown. About a year later, the president of Harvard that wouldn't do the favor for Clinton to get Hunter into law school was appointed for a federal judgeship at the recommendation of Senator Joe Biden. And Joe Biden's committee that Joe Biden was chairman of in the Senate confirmed him for this federal judgeship. Guess what happened? Hunter got admitted to Harvard Law School. Boom. The book is filled with favors like that. Mostly for huge amounts of cash, but sometimes for things like that. I know. And what you find in this book, it's in this Miranda Devine's book, Laptop from Hell, Joe Biden hasn't done one thing in government that wasn't for enriching himself. Everything he has ever done while he's been in government has all been for the benefit of him and his family financially. He doesn't even know he's corrupt. He is so corrupt, he's criminally insane. He's so corrupt he doesn't know he's corrupt. He thinks this is just what it's like. That's why people like the Clintons, when the Clintons get called out for their corruption, they're like, why are you picking on me? This is how it's done up here, you know? It's that kind of attitude. And yeah, I know, it's frightening that this is what is running the country right now. And this book, since it all comes from Hunter's laptop, is well documented. It's true. It's from emails and text messages of Hunter, most everything in it. This guy, he has a whole life of just, I don't know why he documents everything. Maybe as a way to get back at Pop. Calls him Pop. No? And none of this is really in the news. The things that obviously it's been reported that the book is out, and you've seen the cover on television, and they'll mention something here or something there, but they never get to the most scandalous of things inside the book. Not even on Fox News Channel. And it really burns me up inside. I'm glad I got the audiobook edition of it. I was listening. I was doing some work around the house yesterday, and I was listening to the book while I was doing work around the house, and it was just like sometimes I felt like I had to sit down. It was so dirty, so nasty, so scummy, and it's scary. It's scary because he's running the country. I'm in the parts now in the book. I haven't finished the parts where the China deals were made. So you all definitely should check it out. It is worth the read. And Miranda Devine must be very frustrated that the book isn't getting the coverage that it deserves. If just one of the things in this book were true about anyone in the Trump family, the whole country would stop over it, even though they're out of office right now. And that would be the appropriate thing to do. And I imagine President Trump, because he knows all the business that Biden's been involved in, he must be like, what the hell? You know, and I remember these lying, slanderous books that came out about President Trump. None of it was true. They still have lying books that come out about President Trump from time to time. The media and the liberals, they get so excited when these slanders come out. No corrupt. You know, this is one of the reasons that they're always looking into the Trumps for corruption. They just assume that corruption is the only way people can make it in America. And, of course, the Trump family show that's not the case because they're not corrupt. But when these lying books come out about the Trump family, the media obsess over it all day, all night. Miranda Devine's book, which is documented with the primary source, which is the laptop, a little mention, and most of the stories that from the book that I've seen talked about in the media are things we've already heard, when it's filled with new things. And some of the things you've already heard, it has more detail to back up all of the information. There's also many, many emails and text messages where he is ticked off at Joe Biden. And he just, like, there's one, Biden was given the Presidential Medal of Freedom by Obama. And Hunter was pissed off at Biden for the speech he gave. Because Hunter hates Jill Biden, Dr. Biden. He hates her. And he sent off a 750-word email to Joe Biden, just throwing everything he's ever felt towards him after that speech that pissed him off so much. And it's there. Why isn't this on television? They're covering for him. That's why. All right, we're coming up on our top of the hour break. We are back. It is Monday. We are here live. It is the 6th of December. My name is Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO, Kane, 1-888-465-2631. Hour number 2 begins right now.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
We all know how beautiful and lush Florida is.
Wayne, $25 super chat. Thank you. Everyone thank Wayne. Awaiting my towel set and bath mat from My Pillow. Use Kane and saved a bundle. Well, thank you, thank you. Yes, you will.
Knows how to cut, when to cut, and the difference in each type of tree. And the best in South Florida are the professionals at GoPro Professional Property Care. With over 50 years of experience in South Florida, they know what's best for your trees and how to make your home look spectacular. With all the electrical wiring around, tree trimming is too dangerous to do yourself and requires a professional that you will not find by hiring just some guy with a truck who knocks on your front door. In fact, tree trimming is so much more than just cutting branches. It's about maintenance and keeping your trees healthy and having curb appeal. GoPro Professional Property Care is licensed and insured, available 24/7 for any tree emergency. GoPro does it all too. Tree trimming, pruning, tree removal, stump grinding, root removal, lawn care, and installation. And And that's just the start of what they do. Call Nathan. He's Steve Kane's personal tree trimmer. And now he wants to work with you. 954-680-7739. He's also available for condos, HOAs, and businesses. 954-680-7739. 954-680-7739. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. 954-680-7739. Hey guys, Brian Craig here. I have the MyPillow slippers, and Mike Lindell, he's right. These are the most comfortable slippers I've ever worn. And you can get them for 40% off at MyPillow.com with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. One of our listeners called in on the air and told us about his experience with the MyPillow My Slippers.
Brian, I have the MyPillow slippers, and I have neuropathy. These are fantastic slippers.
Really? Which ones do you have? Which style do you have?
The fur-lined one.
Oh, the slip-on fur-lined ones?
Yeah, inside, outside.
What is neuropathy, and what are the symptoms?
Well, the nerves in your feet start going bad, and it affects your balance, and it's painful.
So you're wearing the MyPillow My Slippers, which, by the way, 40% off with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, and it's helped with your neuropathy.
Yes, it is. It's much. I have to wear slippers at home. I can't go barefoot or even with socks on.
Wow.
So I have to wear that. And I also have the MyPillow pillow and the MyPillow mattress topper and the.
That mattress topper is unbelievable, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
My wife loves it.
Oh, man. I know, they're all great. Yeah, I know. And by the way, when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, 40% off the MyPillow slippers, 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows with it. So it's great. Well, that's awesome.
Order your MyPillow My Slippers 40% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. Or call 1
Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-COCAINE 1. That's 1-888-COCAINE 1. And now,
Alrighty, welcome back. I'm Brian. It's The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. You know, I was talking on Friday to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. You know, there are lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, but only 2 advertising on the Steve Kane Show. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs, which is on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall, and Any Lab Test Now of Boca in the Sandalwood Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road, north of Hillsborough on the east side of State Road 7, 441. They don't just do COVID testing, by the way. All the lab testing that you get from your doctor, they'll do it there at the lowest prices in town, guaranteed. My wife goes to Any Lab Test Now of Boca for her lab testing. It's so quick. She's in and out just in a few minutes. Boom, they send everything right to her doctor and her, which she likes. And, when you go to these other labs, even with an appointment, you're there for hours sometimes, in and out in just a few minutes at both of these locations, guaranteed the lowest price. And you get the results sent to you before even your doctor has examined them and calls you. Sometimes it can take days and days to hear or see your results from the doctor. You can get them emailed right to you at Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs or Boca. When you stop in both locations, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. No appointment necessary. Just walk right in. And they have same-day PCR testing. In fact, they can get you the results in just a couple of hours. And the PCR COVID testing, I know a lot of people need for all kinds of things. You can get the results in just a couple of hours at both locations. Sometimes you need them for travel, you need them for this, you need them for that. And they get them. They have really the fastest PCR testing I have heard of anywhere at both locations. All right. So Chris Cuomo was fired. I told you they were going to fire him. Now, of course, they'll replace it in with another, jerk. But they're really they're going after this guy. I mean, just firing him is not enough. And I pulled up this the segment when CNN announced it. with Brian Stelter and Jim Acosta, and they came in with that dramatic news music that they use on CNN. Listen. Oh, hold on. Okay, that CNN breaking news sounder, that's typically what's reserved if, like, there's a terrorist attack, or the United States has taken military action, or there's been some major natural disaster. I haven't heard it in a long time, but the breaking news sounder was used by CNN for Cuomo. This is Acosta and Stelter. Listen, they're having a meltdown.
And we have breaking news to report to you right now about CNN anchor Chris Cuomo. Earlier this week, Cuomo was suspended from CNN after documents revealed he had been involved more than previously known in shaping his brother, former Governor Andrew Cuomo's defense. Chris Cuomo, we should point out, has now been terminated here at CNN. That's the latest breaking news about what's happening here at CNN. I want to go to CNN's Brian Stelter. Brian, obviously this is huge news, not only inside CNN, but for this industry. What can you tell us?
Yes, Chris Cuomo, one of the most popular anchors at CNN.
Most popular, yeah. So out of the lowest rated of the shows, he's number one among the low rated and barely watched.
One of the best known names in television news. Violated journalistic ethics and norms, not once or twice, but many times. And that's ultimately what is the result of today's news, Jim. As you mentioned, Cuomo just terminated by CNN this afternoon. And here's the statement from management explaining the decision, saying Chris Cuomo was suspended earlier this week pending further evaluation of new information that came to light about his involvement with his brother's defense. We retained a respected law firm to conduct the review and have terminated him effective immediately. While in the process of that review, additional information has come to light. Despite the termination, we will investigate as appropriate.
Okay, now the additional information, that's interesting. We're not 100% sure what that is, but he has a woman accusing him of sexual misconduct. That's right. Yeah, Chris Cuomo. CNN fired Chris Cuomo after learning he had been accused of sexual misconduct by a woman who worked with him at ABC. He worked at ABC. He left ABC like 12 years ago. The unidentified woman is set to be interviewed by outside lawyers hired by CNN this week, pending an agreement to keep her identity and everything she says confidential. Cuomo hasn't been formally told the accuser's name, but is believed to have figured it out based on information in a letter her lawyer sent to CNN last week, sources say. The woman was previously described as a former junior colleague at another network by the New York Times. Cuomo was at Good Morning America from 06 to 09. He was anchor of 2020 before leaving in 2013. Okay, so he's been out for like 8 years. So these are at least 8 years old, maybe even older. Sexual misconduct, it doesn't say assault or anything. Sexual misconduct could be a hug, a peck on the cheek, a hand on the shoulder. I'm not going to be defending Chris Cuomo, but don't you think it's a little late for a sexual misconduct allegation? I don't quite get why they're piling that on. But the Cuomo family, they're done in New York. I mean, the Cuomo brothers have screwed up everything. They're both now unemployed. But what I'm wondering is, this is what I'm wondering about this sexual misconduct allegation. I have a suspicion about this. Why do that? Why bring that up? Why are CNN lawyers talking to a woman who has a sexual misconduct allegation against Chris Cuomo, not at CNN, but way back at ABC, which he left 8 years ago? My guess would be that it's a way for them not to give him a payout. A lot of times, these big outlets, they fire people and they have to pay off their contracts, or they have to give them like $10 million sometimes. Like the host of The Bachelor was recently fired for nothing. They fired the guy, and ABC had to pay him $10 million to fire him. Remember, Ozzy Osbourne's wife was fired from the talk. She got a $10 million payout when they fired her. So I'm guessing, this is just a guess, just a suspicion, that this sexual misconduct may be a moral violation, and CNN won't have to pay Chris Cuomo the millions of dollars they would have to pay him for just terminating his contract. That's my guess. That's why they're looking into it. Would be my guess. All right, let's take some calls. All right, I've been talking for a while. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's K-A-N-E and the number 1, 888-465-2631. Wow, I'm looking outside. It is dark. It looks like we're going to have a lot of rain today. 888-465-2631. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
Boy, I'm telling you, I don't like Chris Cuomo, but man, the guy has a wife and kids, and to say something, unless it's really something they know for sure, these people have no class, no concern to anybody. Yeah, you're probably right. It's probably just money. They don't want to pay him out, and
yeah,
I guess. And then he wanted to make it like, oh, it's the Cuomo family, the sex degenerates, the brother and the two brothers. I don't know. I'm sick of it. These people are really turning me off.
Yeah, well, you know.
You mentioned the corruption in the Biden. You know, I was watching, I think it was One American News. There's a video of Senator Biden saying that politicians aren't bad people if they take money from somebody and then do them a favor. I thought, come on.
Yeah, I've seen that on Greg Kelly's show on Newsmax. Yeah.
Greg Kelly. Isn't that amazing? I mean, how can a politician say that? I mean, he's supposed to...
Because he's criminally insane. Biden doesn't even know he's corrupt. That's how corrupt he is, which is hard. I know that's a hard concept to understand. That's where the criminal insanity comes in.
Yeah, you know, it's like getting pulled over in your car by a cop for speed, and you say, well, everybody speeds. Well, you don't say that. You don't give a sign. I'm telling you, this guy is nuts. I don't know why... as long as
well, I imagine. Hey, by the way, thanks for the call, Doug. I imagine Joe Biden was, he's talking about the Miranda Devine book, is what Doug is referencing. My guess is with Biden is he's been in Washington pretty much longer than anybody at this point, and he's been involved in so many dirty, corrupt dealings with so many people. They're afraid to come after him because they're afraid he'll start talking or things would get released if they rubbed him the wrong way. I don't know. See this. A lot of people think the cover-up of Biden is just because they have Trump derangement syndrome. They do have Trump derangement syndrome, but that's not why they cover up for Joe Biden. They've been covering up with Joe Biden since 1973, okay, when he went to Washington. So long before Trump came down the escalator, the media and Washington insiders were covering for Joe Biden. And why they've covered up for this guy all these years... I don't know, other than, he's just as corrupt. In fact, there's a huge section in Laptop from Hell. It's the part I'm in now. I'm in the middle of it now, the Miranda Devine book, where Joe is involved in negotiations with China. And it talks about how China, when Trump came into office, all their deals got blown in the country because Trump put a stop to all the corruption, all the buying that China did. The Soviet Union, we're in a Cold War situation with China, and we had decades, right, 40-year Cold War with the Soviets, and the Soviets did it all wrong. The Chinese learned from the Soviets on what not to do. The Soviets, they were involved in Vietnam, they were involved doing all kinds of business in Berlin and all this stuff before the wall fell. They're bringing tanks in here. They're getting involved in conflicts in Africa. They're doing all this business in Cuba and everything else. What the Soviets did wrong was just not buying the American government officials in Congress. Because what Laptop from Hell shows you is that the Chinese have just bought everybody. They bought everybody off. That's all. And it's a Cold War like we had with the Soviet Union, but it's being fought in a much different way. You know, that's just the way of it. But back to this thing with Chris Cuomo. That's why the sexual misconduct's coming out, and you know they've got new owners coming in soon. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to happen, but there's new owners coming in to take over CNN. And a lot of people that are on CNN are going to go bye-bye when the new owners come in. And the top of my list would be Brian Stelter. Brian Stelter would be the first one to go if I were making the call, followed by Jim Acosta. I'd get rid of everybody, but if I were doing it in an order, or if I could only get rid of one person, it would be Brian Stelter. I just can't stand that guy. And he's always on this moral stage where he's the preacher of journalistic integrity. Are you kidding me? You know, and to describe Chris Cuomo as a reporter, give me a break. He's an opinionator like Hannity, you know, or like what I'm doing. He's not a reporter. Maybe he used to be. I don't know. But the Cuomo dynasty, it's really amazing how they destroyed themselves. These two guys had everything going. Governor Cuomo was set to be the Democrat nominee for president in 24 or 28. He had it locked up. He would have been governor again, and rode that through. And during the height of the pandemic last year, when he was having his daily press conferences, they were treating him as if he was the oracle of all knowledge on how to govern during a pandemic. The media were looking to Governor Cuomo as a leadership for the country instead of President Trump. Remember that? I saw McEnany on Fox talking over the weekend about how she would watch at the White House with the staff Cuomo's press conferences every day. Even they were watching them in the White House, and they've both been brought down now. And it's like lottery winners who are broke. You know, they had everything going for them. Huge futures, and their egos. Their egos just they spoiled trust fund babies who never worked for a damn thing in their life. Everything was handed to them because of their family connections, and just thought that they could rule the world. And now it's over. I don't know what's going to happen with Chris Cuomo. He's still doing his radio show for the time being. We'll see if that continues. And I don't know what their financial situations are. I don't know how much money they have put away. But I imagine the Cuomos are much like the Bidens, corrupt, and have all kinds of deals that are now dried up because they have no favors to sell. All right, let's take our first break of the second hour. It's 18 minutes after. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to The Steve Kane Show.
At AJ's Natural Shop at Festival Marketplace, you will find the best vitamins, herbs, and everything natural at amazingly low prices. I'm Anita, one of the owners of AJ's. My 20-plus years in the natural products industry has allowed me to make contacts with the top supplement and health food manufacturers throughout the country. So even if you can't find your favorite item at AJ's, just ask. I can get it for you at a great price. Call AJ's today. 954-317-1851. 954-317-1851.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. iWill Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. iWill Advisors specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option to ensure you make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just WWNN.
All right, 20 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I don't know why, but in the last 15 minutes, I have been getting more text messages from people. I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 text messages from people in the last 15 minutes. I'm getting more text messages than I can understand. I don't know why. Okay, so this story about Kamala Harris and her staffers is getting deeper and deeper. I was just reading this article during the break. This is a little more detailed than what I read in the New York Post. Kamala Harris has been branded a bully who inflicted constant soul-destroying criticism on her office staff in a damaging expose by the liberal newspaper, The Washington Post. Constant soul-destroying criticism. Okay, I'll go through this, but here's the deal with Kamala. Kamala's bullying of her staff, the constant soul-destroying criticism. This is textbook covering her own insecurities. She knows that everyone looks at her as Willie Brown's girlfriend, that she's done nothing, that she's incompetent, she's stupid, she's over her head, and she's embarrassed by this. So what she does is divert away from her and blames everybody else for her problems. And that's where that comes from. But it's interesting, though, that this came from the Washington Post. They're obviously trying to get rid of her, but they're not going to get her to she's not just going to resign. They got to give her something to save face. And the only thing they can do, she's too old to be pregnant and say she's going to spend time with the baby she's pregnant with. The only thing I could think of would be the Supreme Court. She's a lawyer. She was the Attorney General in California. Would Joe burn a Supreme Court pick on Kamala? I think he would, for the right payoff, like everything else. But I hope that does not happen. Could you imagine, for decades to come, Supreme Court Justice Kamala Harris? Woo! Woo! And now this will sound crazy to you, but the least trustworthy person on the Supreme Court of the United States is Chief Justice John Roberts. It would, and we've seen that he's compromised. Would it surprise you, think about this now, would it surprise you if Chief Justice John Roberts, he's been on the court a long time now, retired? Wouldn't surprise me at all. He's so compromised, he'll do whatever they tell him. And then Biden nominates Kamala Harris to be the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. She's a woman, she's a minority. That would be something she would leave the vice presidency for in a heartbeat. It's a lifetime appointment, and it's a page in a history book. Because there's never been a lady Chief Justice of the court. There's definitely something in play here. And this Washington Post piece is about getting her to play ball with what they're trying to do with her. All right, let's take some calls. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's your best friend, Al, from Coral Springs.
Okay, what's up?
AKA I'll be sure, because Al will be sure to tell your listeners the truth every morning. You didn't want to talk about the Magaloons in Michigan, the white supremacist kid shooter last week because you said there were no hooks or no spin. You like that Fox spin on everything. Well, now you got 3 spins here. I challenge you to ask your marshmallow brain zombie listeners.
Yes? Ask them what? What do you want me to ask people?
Ask them, do they think that it was fair for the parents of this terrorist to be arrested, or were they just arrested because they were mad?
Okay, now slow down. Well, you know, when you say the listeners are marshmallow brain, that you're a listener, so are you marshmallow brained?
I'm the only listener without the marshal.
Oh, okay, you're the only listener with brains. Okay. Now, when I said last week, when the school shooting first happened, there were no angles of discussion. Yeah, now there's been developments. The story has developed. Now that they've done something that I've never seen happen before, maybe it has and I just don't know about it. The parents being charged, that's a new wrinkle. Yeah, there's something to be said about that. Why? Well, let me ask you, excuse me. Let me ask you why you believe the parents should be charged with these crimes.
They should be.
Why?
They should be.
Okay, but why? You say they should be, but why should the parents be charged with murder?
They should be charged because when he went to school, here's the other angle that you can talk about this from now. When they called his parents into the school demanded that the child be taken out for psychological therapy, right? Now, I guarantee you if that kid's name was Muhammad and his parents came in there with burqas on, they would have had the police
Okay, so slow down. I've heard it said that Al, let me tell you, I enjoy the points you bring up are enjoyable bits of discussion, but if you don't participate in the conversation, I'll ban you from the show in a heartbeat. You're not just going to call in, hijack the show, and not get involved in a discussion. I have seen the report that one of the reasons they've charged the parents is they would not remove the child when the school recommended he be removed. Why didn't the school suspend or expel him then? The school can remove students. So, I don't quite understand that. If the school thought that he was that dangerous, why did the school not suspend or expel him?
Well, this goes to answer your white privilege that you claim that doesn't exist anymore. Okay?
The whole family are sitting in jail right now. Where's the white privilege?
We're having a discussion. Don't interrupt me. I didn't interrupt you. Don't interrupt me. I'm answering you now. This is white privilege gone wrong, buddy. Because it came back and bit them all in the butt.
Where's the white privilege? Where's the white privilege?
Little white kid, let's leave him in school, even though he was drawn.
No. The school said that he should. The story is, we don't have all the details. The story is the school told the parents they should remove him from the school. If the school thought he was that dangerous, the school should have removed him. So does the school not have? Let me finish the question. So does the school administration have response? Should they be put in jail too?
Well, here's the third angle that makes this so interesting.
How about this, Al? I got a proposal to you. I've got a proposal to. Excuse me, Al. I have a proposal for you. Maybe you may agree with this. Maybe we should just put all white people in jail in the country. Wouldn't that solve all your problems?
I don't have any problems, buddy. You do.
No, I mean, would you be opposed to that? Would you be opposed of all white people being put in jail?
Let me finish answering your first question. Now, here's the fourth angle. They are pursuing charges on the counselor who let him stay in school.
Uh-huh.
How do you like those apples?
Well, I don't know anything about the counselor.
So now here's your job.
No, I'm not going to. You don't tell me what my job is. Goodbye. The thing about the parents being arrested, there's been in two instances, and I'm sure there are others if we thought about it, but I think about the Michigan and Sandy Hook. Both of them used guns that the parents bought. There have been other instances where school shootings have happened with guns that were owned by parents. I don't know about people being held responsible and arrested and charged with crimes for things their parents or their children did. When I was in high school here in South Florida, there was a car accident, and there were 5 teenagers in the car, and they were all killed. And the parents of 4 of them sued the parents of the driver, and I remember they lost everything. And I know there's certain times when maybe a parent is responsible, but I don't know about charging parents with murder or manslaughter when their child commits a mass shooting. I don't know how I feel about that. They have a text message I read about over the weekend where the mother was texting him and said, "Don't do it," and they're all assuming that means shoot up the school. Maybe. I don't know what "don't do it." I mean, how many times do you tell your kid don't do something? It doesn't necessarily mean it was that. And there may be some responsibility on her behalf. If she knew, if he said he was going to do that and she didn't intervene, I don't know. I don't know how much time there was between the text message and it actually happening. I don't know. But I think it's very odd to arrest and charge parents with murder or manslaughter when their child does something like this. And anyone who's a parent, I think, can agree that there comes a point very early in a child's life when you lose your dominance of total control over what they do. And I just don't know about that. I really don't know how I feel about that. And it's not, it just seems very strange to me. All right, our number 1-888-GO-K1. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Yeah, hey, Brian, it's Mike from Massapequa.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, I wanted to actually agree with Angry Al in this regard. In this case, the parents were aware that the child had a gun, not necessarily on him, but they had just recently bought him the gun. The school was...
Well, slow down. We don't know that. We know that the father bought a gun. We don't, and it's being reported, bought him a gun. You cannot legally own a gun until you're the age of 21. That's a handgun, and you can't own a rifle till you're 18. That doesn't mean you can't go hunting, or be in possession of one or so. So there's this story out there that the father bought him a gun. I don't know. That's that may not actually be true. We need more information on that.
Well, the son posted on social media him holding the gun.
Yeah.
I just got my baby.
Yeah.
So he was indicating it was his gun on social media.
Yeah.
Now, why I see these parents as more responsible than in the other cases is they didn't know that very day their child had drawn pictures of killing other kids. They were the ones who knew he had access to a gun. The school wasn't aware. The school just knew he drew these pictures.
We don't know. There's a lot we don't know right now, but maybe they did have a role in it. Maybe they should have taken the guns out of the house. You know, there's this world of should that a lot of Monday morning quarterbackers look at. I know that I'm a parent, and kids. You don't know what your kids are doing all the time. You could have your gun locked up in a safe at home, and not knowing that your kid knows the combination. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't jump on a bandwagon of blaming parents for a school shooting without more facts and evidence.
Wasn't for the fact that he had drawn the pictures. To me, they should have taken him.
Well, my after Columbine, this was a similar thing happened in with Parkland. Okay, he had the Parkland shooter had made threats against people specifically at the school, and there was some artwork involved in that too, is my recollection. And he didn't have his parents had. He didn't have parents. He had guardians. I didn't see the guardians being charged. I thought after Columbine there was zero tolerance, that students were expelled when certain things were put on paper, like artwork, because of Klebold and Harris did similar things. So there's some liability if we're going to hold the parents responsible. There's liability with the artwork and photographs that they knew about. He should have been expelled, and they should have had the authorities involved. Everyone's just immediately blaming. I mean, me personally, I blame in instances like this, I blame the shooter, like Alec Baldwin, when things like this happen. And I'm not so quick to blame others, but if the school thought the parents should have removed him, why didn't they remove him if he had this artwork?
You're there except for that the parents knew the son had access to a gun. The school only knew that he was drawing violent pictures. They weren't necessarily...
Yeah, but what if he also had access to cars because the parents owned cars? If he would have taken one of the cars, and ran over a bunch of students.
On the picture of driving over kids in the parking lot, they might actually said that.
Now, if we start arresting parents, a lot of people say, well, that'll end this. I don't think it'll end anything. And if you start arresting parents, that's a very slippery slope to me.
The issue is this issue, like you're saying, with Rittenhouse. He was of age to own, to have a weapon. This kid at 15, was he 15, had ownership of or maybe not legal ownership, but access to a handgun.
Well, what if he would have taken a knife from the kitchen and stabbed a couple kids? I mean, come on.
I think the parents could be seen.
I mean, I just am not into blindly holding parents responsible and charging them with like murder and manslaughter. What do they charge the parents with? Yeah, I'm not. No, I'm not. I don't think that's. It was done very fast in this instance too. And let me tell you, they're in jail. They didn't shoot anybody. Alec Baldwin's free. He shot 2 people and killed 1. So why are these parents in the jailhouse, but Alec Baldwin's free?
And then there's that black student who shot the other kid. They didn't die, but he shot the other kids, claiming that he was...
I mean, let me ask you, if we're gonna put the parents in jail, right? Because they shoulda. What about the local district attorney that led the Christmas parade killer out on bail, even though he was determined to be a high risk, and ran over all? Should that attorney be arrested and charged with manslaughter since he let that guy free after he tried to run over his baby mama?
Oh yeah, right. He was out on the prior charge when...
And they assessed him at being a high risk of reoffending, and they still gave him... He's eligible for bail right now.
I would put that district attorney in jail.
Okay, so the district attorney should be held into jail. Okay. You know, this kind of thing used to go to... there used to be discussions years ago about bars and bartenders being responsible for DUI manslaughters. Remember, I haven't heard that talked about in a long time, but people wanted to hold bars and bartenders responsible if they served drinks and someone was falling down drunk and then they left and got in their car. No, I'm more into personal responsibility, not others on the outside.
I agree with that, except for that it's a 15-year-old kid. So how young can you hold them responsible?
There was a school shooting about 15 or so years ago where a child who was like 5, 6, no older than 7, like 5, 6-year-old boy, he took a grandfather's gun. He took his grandfather's gun to school and shot a little girl dead. It's been a long time, but I don't think the grandfather was arrested and charged with... Should have been. Really?
I mean, if you own a gun, you need to have it where a child can access.
But where is that? Where can a child not access something?
Well, in a safe, like you said.
But how do you get into a safe? With a key or a combination? A kid could know grandpa or mom's combo or have the key.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. All right, back to the world it should. Take care. Thanks for the call. Only one opening at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Hold on, guys. We'll take our break and be right back.
This is Brian Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire.
Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hey, hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
My whole family's going for now, man. Everything you said it was going to be, man. I appreciate you for that, man. And Mike's a great guy, man.
Oh, what's your name?
Antonio.
All right, Antonio. Hey, I'm glad we can save you and your family lots of money on tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
Do what Antonio did. Stop into Friendly Tire and find a
Wesley, $10 super chat. Everyone thank Wesley.
Give Friendly Mike a call right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. And Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate.
Greg Wesley wrote, he said, Greg Jarrett on Fox mentioned the gun purchase story as part of his opinion that the parents' charges are justified. He said that the school could be sued in a civil suit. Wesley, $5 super chat. Everyone thank Wesley. Jared said these charges are allowed under Michigan law. I didn't say the charges weren't allowed.
For your needs. Call us directly at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
You know, only one opening on the board at 1-888-GO, Kane 1. You know, I remember Sandy Hook, the mother, now he killed the mother before he went to the school, but she took the kid shooting at the gun range. If she would have survived, do you think they would have arrested her? Should she have been arrested? You know, there's a difference between being civilly and criminally responsible. All right, let's take some calls. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning, Brian. This is Sandra from Boca. How are you?
All right, Sandra.
I kind of am in agreement about what you're saying this morning. It's like the parents have some culpability, but once the child leaves the parent's house, it's at the school, and when you see these kinds of pictures that are so like macabre and really dark, they should have forced that child to go out of the school immediately, because it stands through history that we haven't learned anything.
Well, see, the parent, people say the parent. You know, parents, when you're dealing with trouble with a child, parents, there's a lot of denial that goes into parenting. You know, you always want to think the best of your kids. So, well, like in the Sandy Hook instance, if the mother who he murdered before he went to the school, if she really thought her son was going to kill people, would she have been taking him to the gun range? I don't think so. You know.
I mean, this could have been. But the thing is that the mom, though, did something that bothered me. I think he was looking up ammunition, and he got caught by a school official, and he was ammunition, and she wrote, I love you, I'm not mad at you, but just try not to get caught.
You know, Steve had an incident, maybe when he joins us at the next hour, he'll talk about it, where one of his kids was accused of having a knife at school. And he went to the school and defended the child. It was one of his daughters, defended her. And then he found out, 20, 30 years later, now that she's grown up, that she really did have the knife. I remember, maybe he'll tell the story when he joins us at 8. I don't remember all the details of it. Parents are not able to, in many instances, properly assess the situation with the child. And everything I'm hearing, the school has a big role to play here, because I'm hearing that the school had multiple people who saw things, and they did.
Was going to.
Yeah, he could have been arrested for what he did. So I don't know why they didn't have him arrested.
I just don't get it. But in the meantime, it's like a cocktail of disaster, because they knew their child had problems. It's very, very, very rare where you cannot know that your child is suffering from some kind of depression, becomes a recluse or whatever.
Well, I don't know. Mental illness, if he is mentally ill, the child, mental illness runs through families. So maybe mom or dad are suffer from mental illness themselves and are unable to assess. I don't know.
I know, it's just kind of like you said, a slippery slope. I don't think it should have been taken to that degree. I think the school should have just sent the kid home immediately. Once seeing those really macabre drawings, and it's like you're telling them what he's telling them what he's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that could have been the silver lining in the whole thing. A lot of
schools aren't, they're just like in Parkland. I thought school districts had zero tolerance because Klebold and Harris and Columbine had put everything in writing as well, a lot of things in writing, and they did nothing. And I thought when there were threats on paper and artwork and things like this, that it was zero tolerance, that the kids were expelled and authorities were involved. And what you find out with government, because that schools are government, is they cover things up because they don't want these things on the books for their school. It freaks people out. So I don't know. Should the administration that was involved in this decision, should they be arrested and put in the jail too?
I don't know.
I mean, if you're going to put the parents in, hey, we could find out that the parents should be prosecuted and convicted, but I think it was done pretty quick there.
Yeah, and you can tell the father is so just...
I mean, look at Brian Laundrie with the Gabby Petito thing. Obviously his parents... liberals don't understand this because they're pro-choice, okay? And they put themselves ahead of children on the left. So liberals can't understand this. But a parent's natural instinct is to protect their child. And when there are allegations being thrown at a child, a parent's natural instincts to protect that child kick in. And a parent cannot always... coherently make a decision about what's right or wrong. That's why Brian Laundrie's parents obviously were involved in some type of assist.
Just don't get caught, and he's looking up ammunition.
Well, look at the girl. Look at I keep forgetting her name. Who's the woman, the mother here in Florida that killed her kid and got away with it and was blaming Casey Anthony. Even when she was accusing her parents of terrible things, her parents were defending her, even though they knew that she had killed their grandchild. So no, parents can't see clearly.
Yeah, very true.
I mean, maybe, okay, take care. Maybe I just relate because I'm a parent, but no, I think people are too quick to blame parents. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air. What's your name?
Yeah, hi Brian. It's Ricardo. Good morning.
Yeah, you called me, Ricardo.
I have to agree with everything that you have been saying, Brian. The parents should not be criminally, arrested for that, as you mentioned. There is civil cases that they could be negligent or maybe protecting their child, whatever is the case, but definitely not criminal as it happened with those parents.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between being civilly liable and criminally liable, and maybe we'll find out that they had prior knowledge and assisted, but I find it impossible to believe the parents actually knowingly assisted in a school shooting. No way.
It's impossible, and any parent will never try to help any kids to do the wrong thing. They always think the best of their kids. As you say, we have a denial when our kids have problems, and they couldn't assess the situation.
Yeah. All right, take care. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hi, Brian Carey from Coral Springs. How are you?
All right, what's up?
Not too bad. Very quickly, I think what made it hard for the people with the parents is they disappeared, they went into hiding, they took out like $4,000 worth of money, and that puts a lot of suspicion on them.
Well, hold on a second here. Look at what happened to Brian Laundrie's parents. I think when your child when your child, and they're always kids, no matter how old they are. I don't care if they're 60 and you're 85, right? When your child is involved in a high-profile thing like this, whether it's Brian Laundrie or this, I think it makes sense to go somewhere else for a while so the media isn't following you around in the front of your house. I think I can see any parent doing that.
Off topic, I need to call My Pillow. What's the promo code for you guys?
Oh, okay. Now, here's the phone number. It's promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, and the number is 1-800-716-4879. What are you going to order? Oh yeah, the My Pillow Go Anywhere pillows. Yeah, I have those myself, and they're spectacular. I'm gonna bring mine on the cruise in January. Yeah. All right, yeah, it's promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. All right, take care. All right, we'll take our last break of the second hour. If you're on hold, stand by. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. We'll be right back.
I know how beautiful and lush Florida is, with the abundance of trees and bushes. But if you want your home to look great, all of that greenery needs to be trimmed and well kept. So when it comes to trimming your trees, you want a pro, one who knows how to cut, when to cut, and the difference in each type of tree. And the best in South Florida are the professionals at GoPro Professional Property Care. With over 50 years of experience in South Florida, they know what's best for your trees and how to make your home look spectacular. With all the electrical wiring around, tree trimming is too dangerous to do yourself and requires a professional that you will not find by hiring just some guy with a truck who knocks on your front door. In fact, tree trimming is so much more than just cutting branches. It's about maintenance and keeping your trees healthy and having curb appeal. GoPro Professional Property Care is licensed and insured, available 24/7 for any tree emergency. GoPro does it all too. Tree trimming, pruning, tree removal, stump grinding, root removal, lawn care, and installation. And that's just the start of what they do. Call Nathan. He's Steve Kane's personal tree trimmer, and now he wants to work with you. 954-680-7739. He's also available for condos, HOAs, and businesses. 954-680-7739. 954-680-7739. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. 954-680-7739.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to The Steve Kane Show.
Hi folks, Dr. Matez here, now with the Biostation West Delray. At Biostation West Delray, we continue to offer the highest level of experience and care you can find in the realm of hormone pellet and hormone replacement therapies. But that's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities, including state-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc. Better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks to die for. If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
You know, it's possible the dad bought that gun to protect himself from the kid. You know, sometimes parents get frightened of their kids. All right, good morning. You're on the radio. Oh, hey, Richie.
Yeah, please don't ban the big ball that you get every month.
I didn't ban anybody.
No, the more you threatened to ban the moron in Coral Springs. The total moron who told you for a year that Rittenhouse was guilty and Rittenhouse was a white supremacist and he was going to jail because it was the CNN. This moron in Coral Springs. And by the way, I watched the arraignment. Once again, the prosecution, I think, overstepped. They said that he had access to a gun in a drawer. The drawer was a locked drawer, and they have no case. Once the prosecution finds out that the defense can prove that the gun was locked up, and that whole case hinges on a lock. And guess what? It was locked up. I mean, did you see the arraignment?
I didn't watch the arraignment, but I don't see anything that shows that the parents did anything to participate. And, you know, they got, it's so, listen, the parents are Trump people. Okay, so that makes them guilty right there, and they don't like them because they're MAGA, and they got some woman who used to date the father before he was married to his wife, that says that he wasn't a nice guy. I mean, you know, go interview my ex-girlfriends. I'm sure they have nothing good to say. You know, that's why they're ex. You know.
And you're going to find out that this.
I mean, like they say, I'm reading in the New York Times. The student's parents never advised the school district that he had direct access to a firearm or that they had recently purchased a firearm. First off, what business is it of the school? What you got to tell your local school when you legally buy a gun?
If it's locked up in the house, it doesn't matter. You can have 5 kids that have mental illness. The gun laws protect the owner of the gun. Legally, the owner of the gun is dead. The dad had the gun locked up, so the prosecution said it.
Well, it's like I said, at 15, what if he would have taken the family car and drove through the school zone at 80 miles an hour when the kid would the parents have been responsible because he took the car?
Yeah, you're not allowed to have a car in your house.
I would lock up my keys, but if I lock up my keys, how can I unlock the place that's locked with my key? You know, come on.
How they overreach all the time. But it also amazes me how idiot Carl Springs always tries to outdo you and insult your entire audience. I mean, it's not just you, it's not just me. Everybody now a dumb marshmallow because they follow you. No, the fact of the matter is that this guy has no brain for himself. He's a walking idiot.
I mean, I want you to, think about it. If you, in this media era we are in, if you have a child who commits a crime and it's high-profile news, would you stay at your house? I wouldn't.
Parents.
Yeah, well, yeah, they camp out in front of your house and harass you and your neighbors, and it's awful. No, I might take a couple dollars out of the bank and go stay somewhere else too.
Did you know that he was in touch with his legal? They were in touch with the legal team. They tried to surrender. But the prosecution said they weren't obligated to call his attorney.
Now, this is a very dangerous precedent, and I don't like this business that the parents did not inform the school district that they had recently bought a gun. You know, listen. You know, Dr. Oz is running for Senate as a Republican in Pennsylvania, and apparently he's a gun grabber. He's into doctors and others reporting people that have guns. And I don't know anything about the prosecutors in the Michigan case. We'll learn more as time goes on. But this sounds like a very dangerous legal precedent where you are supposed to inform the school when you have a gun. I don't think so. Sounds like some other gun registration racket they're running.
Yeah, this is so. I'm glad that Al called up and brought this up because this is once again so blatantly over.
Well, I was saving this for 8 o'clock when Steve joined us because he had an incident with a knife with his kids many years ago, and I was going to talk to him about it. So we jumped into it a little early, but that's fine. I don't mind that at all.
18 years old, you could have one kid that becomes a priest and another kid a gangster. When is it?
I mean, are we going to? You look at the shootings in Chicago. These are gang shootings, and most times these gang shootings in Chicago, the shooter is 15 I've heard this many times. 15-year-old gangbanger. I've never heard of a 15-year-old gangbanger's mom or moms being arrested and charged. This is all new territory to me.
Yeah, mom is over there in Chicago working 2-3 jobs and collecting a check from the government, and the government is now going to have your babies when they're 3 years old.
See, Kyle Rittenhouse was found not guilty, so the mob they need some they need to feed somebody to the lions for the mob.
Now is the bigger joke in Carl Springs.
All right, take care. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. We got to take our break here for the top of the hour. It's 8 a.m. There's an opening where Richie was at 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back with the third hour on this Monday morning edition of the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Stand by, back with your calls and Steve Kane after this.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Do you want immune advice from a licensed professional?
Steve Kane Show.
Plus years experience?
Steve Kane Show. Hey, hold on.
Thousands of clients, develop nutrient formulas, and is available at no charge. That's me, Janet Cimarelli, licensed nutrition counselor. Call me at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop at Festival Marketplace for your free counseling appointment. 954-317-1851. 954-317-1851.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the Sole Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own therapeutic shoes and custom inserts. Medicare recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the Sole Authority today, 954...
Michael, $5 super chat. Thank you. I want to thank Michael. A belated happy anniversary. Well, thank you so much.
This is Brian Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of buying used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brian, I want to give you a quick testimony about the tire place up in Margate, Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire is everything you said it would be, man. I went up there and got me some used tires, and when I went there, man, he was very courteous. My whole family's going for that, man. Everything you said it was going to be, man. I appreciate you for that, man, and Mike's a great guy, man.
Well, what's your name?
Antonio.
All right, Antonio. Hey, I'm glad we could save you and your family lots of money on tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
Do what Antonio did. Stop into Friendly Tire and find incredible deals on both new and used tires. Give Friendly Mike a call right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. And Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-CANE 1. That's 1-888-GO-CANE 1. Now.
All right, 4 minutes after 8, the third hour has begun. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. We're joined, of course, by Steve. Hey, Steve. All right. What's on your mind? You sound upset.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. No, I mean, you sound upset. So did I do something? I did. You sound upset. No, I don't know why you would be upset. I had no idea. Yeah. I can call you during the break. What? You can tell me on the air. You can tell me. All right. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I do not know what I did, but I must have done something. I don't know what it was, but I've done something. I don't know what it is. But all right, our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, what's up, Brian? How y'all doing?
Hey, you got to speak up a little bit.
Oh, okay. I'll stop. I said about the situation with Carl's room run up about the shooting with school.
The Michigan school shooting we were talking about. The Michigan school shooter's parents are in jail. They've been arrested.
In a way, I don't think they should be in jail unless they knew what was going on in school, and they probably tried to reach out to the school, and the school didn't do nothing, and they had to find some way to try to help their child.
Uh-huh.
And hold on, go. Give you an example. Because how many times there always be a school shooting, and there always be bullying, but the schools don't never do anything.
You know, I'm just having a hard time understanding you because you sound like you're mumbling a little bit. I don't know. Where are you calling from? No, I have no idea where you are.
Pompano.
Oh, you're in Pompano. Okay, all right. I thought you might be like out in California and it was like you were just waking up at 5 a.m. because you're mumbling a little bit. I'm having a hard time understanding you.
I understand. Well, like I said, I believe the schools.
Well, look, they're holding the parents responsible because when the Parkland shooting happened, all kinds of people knew that Nicholas Cruz had guns, including the local police, because they were called, and they never did anything even after he had gotten in trouble and expelled. I didn't hear anything about any police or school administrators or the guardians that he lived with being arrested. I didn't hear anything about any of that. Now all of a sudden we got a mom who's a MAGA mom, and all of a sudden for the first time I'm hearing others arrested for a school shooting other than the shooter.
Well, they probably trying to crucify the parent because he's mad. But like I said, I think the school should be responsible. Okay.
Hey, listen, I'm letting you go just because I can't understand what you're saying. I mean, does he sound like he's mumbling to you, Steve, a little bit? Yeah, I couldn't understand. I could understand like every fourth word. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air.
Yes, hi, Steve. My name is Councilman Ray McMillan for the town of South Palm Beach. I'm an elected official, and you were mentioning the Parkland shooting, and I want to give some input on that I'm not sure you know about. Do you know that Robert Runcie, who is was the Broward superintendent of schools in Broward at that time, close to Obama?
Yes.
Okay, they put together a program called the Promise Program. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, we know all about that. There was the Sheriff's Department of Broward County, the Broward County Sheriff at the time, Scott Israel, and the Broward Superintendent, Runcie, were involved in manipulating crime statistics, both in the city of Parkland and the Broward County School District. And well, slow down a minute. And that is why the shooting happened, because that's yeah.
Because what they did was they were complaining that Black and Hispanic students were being suspended and disciplined too often, and it was like, well, tough. They were the ones committing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what do? They created the Promise Program, where they wouldn't allow law enforcement to come and prosecute these people who are assaulting teachers, students, threatening people, and everything else.
In fact, when Nicholas Cruz walked on campus, the reason the one deputy went to hide, and with the school resource officer went to hide and called in the fake line radio calls, is because he knew all about Nicholas Cruz, even though it wasn't on the books, and he was scared to death of him. Yeah.
I wait for the day that they finally expose. See how they delayed the trial of Cruz? They keep delaying it.
Well, and they're making plea deals. They don't want a public trial that's televised like Florida trials are, because if you're going to say these parents of Michigan should be arrested and charged, You got to start arresting school administrators at Parkland, maybe people with the sheriff's office in Broward County, maybe the superintendent got arrested for something else apparently, but you got to arrest the superintendent of the Broward County Public Schools and all kinds of other people.
Are you a member of law enforcement?
No, I support law enforcement. We have our own law enforcement department, Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, at the substation at our town hall. But yeah, they know all about it. They said they got all the details on it. And the unfortunate thing is, since Cruz he's pled guilty to everything, no discovery is going to be made to the public where everybody can hear how the Parkland shooting happened from the province.
See, those shootings happened years ago. Nicholas Cruz is still in the Broward jail because trials in Florida are televised. And if this went to trial, all these things we're talking about would be discussed on television. And it's a cover-up. See, the thing is, with the Michigan shooter, the parents are Trump people, or at least the mother is. So that makes them guilty. And since Rittenhouse was acquitted a couple weeks ago, the liberal mob, they want somebody punished because Rittenhouse was acquitted for defending his life. Hey, yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
Hello? Yeah, do I know you in real life?
No.
Do I know you in real life?
No. No, you sound like somebody. No. I know he sounds like somebody. Same voice. All right, take care. All right, take care. All right, 1-888-GO, Kane 1. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. It's Greg. Listen.
Hey, Greg.
You know what, Brian and Steve, I kind of know your stance on it too. When are we going to hold parents, accountable? If my children are expressing desires to harm people, I'm not buying a gun. B, I'm not giving them access to that gun. They played an integral role. And by the way, Brian, you are so insensitive. Kids die. If that was your daughter killed, let's hear your response, Brian.
Well, that's why when we put people on juries and put them in judgment positions, we don't use the family members of victims, because you can't make a fair judgment on things when you're involved like that. You're a lawyer. You should know that.
Point.
No, but let me ask you a question. You don't think the parents played an integral role in what happened?
I don't know. It's kind of early. I know this. Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
I think there were so many screw-ups in this thing, it's hard to know where to turn first to place blame. The school officials, were outrageously incompetent. Evidently, when he was sitting in this meeting, if I understand it correctly, when they were sitting in this meeting with the parents, the kid had the gun in his book bag, and they didn't even know it.
Well, you know what? I say
prior to the shooting.
Throw them in accountability too. Everyone to make this incompetent. Nicholas Cruz, by the way, Brian.
Oh yeah, believe me, they're going to be. Believe me, the school officials, they're going to get their butts sued. Believe me.
Right, but you know what? These parents, by the way, they didn't even show up at their first appearance. They were on the run.
I don't know that they were on the run. I don't know about that. Their lawyer says they were not on the run. I know the media says they were on the run.
Okay. Oh, all right. Well, if the lawyer said it, then that.
I don't know. I know. You keep asking me questions and asking for permission. Go. I don't know why you asked. This is your fourth question.
Do you know where they were found, Brian?
Yeah, they were found in that building somewhere in Detroit. Yeah. Well, Steve, if you had the media looking for you to, you might go to an undisclosed location too in a situation like that.
Answer that, Steve. You would go hide in a warehouse?
Away from the media?
No, I'm with you. But there's so much blame to go around. I don't know where to turn first, to tell you the truth. The school was really incompetent. They sent him back into a classroom when he was carrying a gun, for crying out loud, if I understand it correctly.
I'm all for that. Those school officials should be held accountable. The parents should be held accountable. The shooter should be held accountable. There's a lot of people involved with this, and they all need to teach.
Yeah, but the more you find out about this case, the more you're going to find out that these parents are dinglings, to say the least.
Well, hold on. I was talking. There was this. You remember this case, Steve? This was about 15 years ago, where the 5-year-old. No, not yours. There was a 5-year-old. This was about 15 years ago. There was a 5-year-old kid who took his grandfather's gun to school and shot a girl dead. I don't remember them arresting and charging the grandfather because his 5-year-old grandson used his gun. Yeah, in fact, he did. Do some things. I can't remember. It's been 15 years, but that's at 5 years old, and he took the grandfather's gun, and they didn't arrest or charge the grandfather.
What your logic is so unreasonable. If you're not holding them accountable, so we shouldn't hold anyone else accountable. Okay.
No, I'm for holding the killer accountable. I mean, listen. Answer me this question. Can I ask you a question? Why are these two parents in jail, but they didn't kill anybody. Alec Baldwin killed a woman, and he's free doing interviews.
Baldwin is a celebrity.
Oh, celebrities are allowed to kill.
Evidently.
Okay.
He's in the eating.
All right, celebrities are allowed to kill. That's the answer. All right, Greg.
You don't think that's what's going on?
I don't know.
Average citizen?
Apparently not. Yeah. All right, Greg. Take care. Thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. There's an opening where Greg 2 was at 1-888-GO, Kane 1-888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
We all know how beautiful and lush Florida is, with the
Be right back,
abundance of
guys.
trees and bushes. But if you want your home to look great, all of that greenery needs to be trimmed and well kept. So when it comes to trimming your trees, you want a pro, one who knows how to cut, when to cut, and the difference in each type of tree. And the best in South Florida are the professionals at GoPro Professional Property Care. With over 50 years of experience in South Florida, they know what's best for your trees and how to make your home look spectacular. With all the electrical wiring around, tree trimming is too dangerous to do yourself and requires a professional that you will not find by hiring just some guy with a truck who knocks on your front door. In fact, tree trimming is so much more than just cutting branches. It's about maintenance and keeping your trees healthy and having curb appeal. GoPro Professional Property Care is licensed and insured, available 24/7 for any tree emergency. GoPro does it all too: tree trimming, pruning, tree removal, stump grinding, root removal, lawn care, and installation. And that's just the start of what they do. Call Nathan. He's Steve Kane's personal tree trimmer, and now he wants to work with you. 954-680-7739. He's also available for condos, HOAs, and businesses. 954-680-7739. 954-680-7739. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. 954-680-7739.
Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, we are back 19 minutes after the hour. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning. I have a 6-year-old son that lives in your area, that we do, and I don't want to give my name because of that. And he was in school, and he brought a toy Nerf gun to school, like one that shoots through the dark.
A Nerf gun, okay.
And it was yellow, it had these blue, these darts that shoot out, they're blue and red, and they suspended him. And I understand it, but, here's for a 6-year-old kid, how far do you go? And, it was a toy in his backpack, and then they actually found it after school, in an aftercare.
Yeah, I've heard stories like that happening here in South Florida. I've heard stories like that before, yeah.
And, my son didn't understand what he did wrong, but I explained it to him, but that some school districts just go a little too far, and they don't go far enough on certain things. It depends on the parents, and
He didn't realize that would be.
Well, what do you think about arresting and putting these parents in jail?
In jail, they should go to court, and they should be found out what happened there. But why should they be in jail even then?
Yeah.
They should appear before.
Because they fled the law, because they knew they were going to be arrested, and they fled.
I don't know. That's not what their lawyer says.
I know.
That's not what their lawyer says, though.
But
if I had the media on my front lawn,
I can't even comment on that. You're taking what the lawyer said as the
Steve, the international media were about to descend on these people. I don't blame them for going somewhere else.
Okay, so you're telling me that they were fleeing from the media?
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. What?
A warehouse to hiding.
What do you think, caller? What do you think, caller? Would you want the media coming after you?
The media, or do you think they were hiding from the police?
They would appear at the right time, and I'm sure that they haven't mentioned that the police could have probably seen their attorney, who would have probably brought them forward at the right.
Where are they going with $4,000? Where are they going?
What do you think they? Well, why do you think they took the $4,000 out of their account?
Because they were hiding from the media, maybe, and they needed money.
They were hiding from. Okay.
Look.
They were hiding from the media, not from law enforcement. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Law enforcement wanted them; they could appear.
And I like how the media. Are saying they were on the Canadian border. Michigan's on the Canadian border. I mean, I'm sorry. Come on.
I mean, if I had a country house and I had something happen, I'd go to my country house and hang out there with the people.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not hiding from law enforcement.
So they're going to tell the judge the problem was they didn't have a country house?
Well, wherever they went to where they felt safe. Well, that's where I would go. I wouldn't stand in my house watching this media truck outside, watching when you...
Exactly. Exactly.
As this thing unfolds, you are going to find that these parents are really screwed up. I can tell you that.
Well, maybe
there are a lot of red flags with the president. I mean, this is not an ordinary case.
Half the country's screwed up.
You're proven guilty. You're innocent until proven guilty.
Well, that's in a court of law. We're not in a court of law. We're on the talk show.
There was an incident. Hey, maybe somebody can give me the details. A few weeks back, there was a black school shooter who got bail. He shot a couple people, and his family threw a party for him when he got home. Remember this? It was about a month or two ago in Texas. Somebody can remember the details of that. Give us a call. It just popped in my brain, and that was recent. That was like during the Rittenhouse era.
Where the law enforcement said they couldn't find them. I'm sure they could have went to their attorney and they would appear if necessary.
Yeah.
How they did find them. They didn't. But the media is a scary thing, and you have to realize that. Would you want Jim Acosta on your front lawn?
Exactly. It's awful what they do to people.
They're sit out there with these questions and twisted, and start interviewing neighbors and people. They're a good family, and we don't know, and all these stories would come out. You just got.
No, they already got the dad's girlfriend that he was dating for a month before he was married, and she's out there, and she's like a source of credibility on his mental state. The father. I mean, give me a break. Hey, listen, caller. Thanks for the call. You're on the radio. Good morning. What's your name?
Yes. Am I on the air now?
Yeah.
Sounds like you.
Okay. I'm from Oxford, Michigan. I want to set the record straight on a few things. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, number one, the parents did run. Number two, the parents bought the gun for the son on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, as a Christmas gift. They've already told the police that. He published that on Instagram. It was his weapon. His father did not lock the weapon up. The parents took the backpack into school the morning of the shooting, unknowingly or knowingly that the gun was in it. We do not know that fact yet. That is why the school...
Hold on. What do you think? What do you think?
What do I think?
Are you a gun person? Do you handle guns? Do you know about guns?
Yes, I do.
Okay, if I take a backpack and stick a pistol like this in it, given its weight and heft and feel, you're going to tell me that there's...
Really, with books in it, Steve? With books in it? A backpack, a book with books in it, you're supposed to be able to oh, it's too heavy, this must be a pistol? Come on.
I agree and I disagree with the whole thing about the back.
Well, it sounds like we don't even need a trial, caller. You're in Michigan and you know everything.
No,
we don't need a trial. We have to, hold on, one second.
My son
don't need a trial. We've got the lawyer.
My son was in the school when the shooting started and went out a window.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So,
well, we're not defending the school shooter. But what we're talking about is arresting and charging parents of teenagers who do things.
Arrested. They bought the gun for the son
to shoot up the school. They bought their son a gun to shoot up the school. Okay, in Sandy Hook. Okay,
for months. Okay.
Yeah.
Stating that he wanted to do this. Okay. The parents had no idea. I think it was more or less only child basically jobbing the parents into getting him a gun, and they were supposed.
Okay, so you agree with me? The parents should not be in jail.
The parents should be in jail right now.
Why?
Because they bought the gun.
Oh, they bought the gun. Okay, what if, let me ask you this, caller. What if he had taken the family car and when school got out, drove through the school zone at 80 and ran over 20 kids? Oh, my goodness.
Did the kids...
All right.
The parents brought the gun into school. They bought it in a backpack. That is what has not been released yet. Okay.
But they didn't know that. Oh my! Well, is it okay? Is it reasonable to? So hold on, slow down. Do you think it is reasonable at this point, with what we know, to assume that the parents knowingly brought him the gun in the book bag? Does it make sense that the parents would do such a thing to you? So that means that they were active participants in the massacre, knowingly, because they conspired. Come on.
They do a lot more than what's being.
That sounds. What do you think, Steve? That sounds a little nuts.
Negligence.
No, the caller is saying that the parents may have knowingly brought the weapon to the school and gave it to him. Come on, that's insane.
I don't know about that. That's pushing it a little far. But I think the parents should. I think if it was our kids, we would have known the difference.
Not if it's filled with books.
I'm not saying they knew. What I'm saying is they bought him the gun. They never checked when they heard that their son was having issues in school. When they saw the pictures he was drawing, death everywhere, I'm losing my mind, all the other stuff. They never went and checked for the gun. Then they carried the backpack into school, okay? Not knowing if the gun was in there or not. The kids carried books.
Oh my goodness. I've taken things to my daughter at school so many times when she was in school. I never went through her bag to make sure there wasn't a gun in there.
Into the school knowing that they called you to let you know that your son was looking up ammunition online.
That would not necessarily be a red flag. You know, when I was a kid, I had guns and had ammo, and I didn't have the internet, but I had magazines I'd look through. There was no internet then, that's why. Did the parents know about
blood all over the floor and stuff like that?
No, I didn't do that. So why did the school do nothing?
School has plenty to account for.
School is negligent.
Absolutely.
Listen, caller. To me, I understand sometimes parents are civilly responsible, but I've never seen an instance where parents were arrested like this.
Charged with involuntary manslaughter. Involuntary.
I've never seen something. You know, this case in Texas I was talking about was a school shooting. That was a recent issue. This is a whole new area.
Maybe she's not. Who knows? We don't know that, but we do know the evidence is that the parents bought the gun for him, the mother took him out into the range. The kid was also very efficient with the weapon. He fired between 20 and 50 rounds and had over 11 hits. The kid was good with the gun.
Well, that's not a bad, necessarily a sign of a red flag. In Sandy Hook, the mother used to take him shooting. He used a gun that she bought.
What I'm trying to tell you, Brian, is that the whole thing is nothing but a tragedy and a bunch of mishaps by adults that could have been provoked.
Well, what I think's going on here, okay, to me, obviously it's a tragedy and a massacre, and there were a lot of red flags where the kid should have been arrested probably. But to me, rushing and going after the parents, what I see in Michigan, and again, this is very early on. Okay, we don't have a lot of details yet. We have a lot of things being said without confirmation, and I keep referencing Parkland because we're removed, we know. Okay, what I'm seeing is much like Parkland. I'm seeing a cover-up of any responsibility by the school district or the administration, just like in Parkland, and going after the parent. They're not arresting they're not arresting the administration.
Don't worry, give them time.
They're going to arrest members of the administration.
Straight, okay.
Go ahead.
Oxford, Michigan is 85 to 90% MAGA. Okay, we are Trump bleeding people.
Yeah, then explain Whitmer. Hey, listen, we got to run for a break, but thanks for the call, and feel free to call us throughout this. Okay, we're a little late. It's 32 minutes after. We're late for the break. We got to take our break for the bottom of the hour. We'll be right back.
Beautiful and lush Florida is, with the abundance of trees and bushes. But if you want your home to look great, all of that greenery needs to be trimmed and well kept. So when it comes to trimming your trees, you want a pro, one who knows how to cut, when to cut, and the difference in each type of tree. And the best in South Florida are the professionals at GoPro Professional Property Care. With over 50 years of experience in South Florida.
Steve Kane Show.
For your trees and how to make your home look spectacular. With all the
Hold on.
electrical wiring around, tree trimming is too dangerous to do yourself and requires a professional that you will not find by hiring just some guy with a truck who knocks on your front door. In fact, tree trimming is so much more than just cutting branches. It's about maintenance and keeping your trees healthy and having curb appeal. GoPro Professional Property Care.
How do you want to handle Youngly today?
Okay, yeah, what we're doing is, except on Mondays, the other days Janet's going to call in at 5 to 8. Anita calls in on Monday, so she's going to call. She can't call in earlier, so she's going to call at 5 to 8. Then the other days, Janet's going to call at 5 till 8 instead of 5 to 9. So that'll help a little bit. Well, I'll try to call him while I'm talking to a caller if I can, but I'm gonna try to eliminate the recorded break there. So I might need you to call, but if I can call him myself, I will.
I don't know how to handle the phones if you're on a call.
Oh, I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you how to do it. It's easy. Watch me do it today, and then you'll know. Steve Kane Show. I thought it was. The 7th, isn't it? I thought it was the 10th. Let me look. I thought it was the 10th. I'll check. I guess you're right, yeah. All right, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve is on the line. We have a full board of calls, so I don't know who's on hold. I answered a couple lines, but I didn't ask them where they're coming from. So these are random and screenless, and I guess I'm a man alone here today.
Unfortunately, I'm not prepared for this show
because my partner didn't call me over the weekend and we didn't have a chance.
I didn't know we were going to talk about this. A caller brought it up.
You got me on the phone, we wouldn't.
I know a caller, Al, brought it up. Liberal Al called around 7:30 and brought it up. I didn't bring this up.
As I recall off the top of my head, and again, I'm underprepared for this show, so I want to say that up front. This kid was hearing voices telling him this kid is a psycho. And you're going to tell me that if you, as a together parent, because I consider you a together parent, had been the father in this, you're going to tell me that you would have bought him a gun? You don't think you would have been able to tell from the degree of mental deterioration?
I don't know what the parents knew. I don't know. I
mean, it sounded to me like the kid was out of his mind.
Well,
correctly, if anybody on hold knows this, as I remember, to the best of my recollection, the kid was hearing voices telling him to do these things.
Mm-hmm.
You say something to the effect that the voices won't stop or something like that?
I've heard that. I'm not sure of the context. You know, I'm not. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to see more about it.
Anyway, if you want to find out what the real story, call his defense attorney. The defense attorney will tell you.
Yeah, well, he would certainly be a source of information.
The last place I would go is the defense attorney.
Maybe. All right, let's take some calls. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Morning, Brian and Steve. How are we?
Hey, Wisconsin Gary. How you doing?
Gary, how are you?
Doing good. Good. You know, I'm usually like one of the people that waits till the evidence comes out. And Brian's kind of held off on some of that, too, because I've noticed how he kind of talked about this. But for some of the liberals that have called today, and all of a sudden say, well, the parents should be held responsible, but though, in fact, the child did it, who are we going to blame next? Are we going to blame Biden's parents for having and being in office? Are we going to blame Kamala Harris being in vice president?
Well, I mean, you know, Gary, I was talking to a caller earlier. In Chicago, many of the murders they're gang related, most of them, and the killers are 15, 16 years old regularly. I've never heard of a parent or any family member being arrested and charged with any type of responsibility to killings like this. It's very unusual.
You do the crime, you do the time. That's the one thing I've always was told years and years ago. But the fact is that my parents be affected by something of my own consequences and actions.
I mean, think about how much did when I was 15, 16, my parents knew maybe about 3% of what I was up to, probably. I don't know. I mean, it might be a break.
The psycho that was hearing stuff.
I don't know. Someone's talking in my ear now.
But you know, the thing is, it
must be the defense attorney.
I'm hearing two voices in my head right now with the.
But you know, if the parents were not involved with the child's life, then that's really on the parents for not being part of the child's.
See, this is the deal.
My gun.
Oh, please, Steve. Listen. The Rittenhouse was acquitted. The media wants someone to pay.
Rittenhouse.
Yeah, but the media don't know. The media don't know that. They just know that the parents are MAGA.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, the one caller, I feel sorry if this kid was in there. But I mean, until a good majority of the facts come in, I'm not really going to say whether this kid did right or wrong. I got to hear the facts of the case first. Because of the simple...
Well, no, the kid, we're not debating the child. The shooter did it. Yeah, he's guilty.
The kid didn't do anything wrong? Is that what you said?
Well, I'm not saying that, Steve. What I'm saying is, until the complete facts about the parents come in, I'm not going to say about the facts of the parents.
Yes.
We know that the kid did go into the school. He did shoot in a school. That is where he's guilty on. But as for the parents, I'm not going to say whether they're innocent or guilty.
Exactly.
Facts come out.
Exactly.
until proven.
And to me, Gary, does it make sense in a high-profile case the parents taking a couple dollars and hiding out from the media? Come on.
You know what, Brian? I'll give you this analogy, and Steve, I want you to answer too. If you won the lottery and you knew 100 people were going to be at your door, would you knock on, done the same thing, taken some money out, and gone to remote it?
Exactly.
You're saying it's analogous to winning the lottery, what this kid did? I'm trying to understand what you mean by that.
The lottery?
What he's saying is $4,000 may not be that much to these people, but $4,000 might be not that much to these people, is what he's saying.
Any way, shape, or form, if I had the media knocking on my door because
Yeah.
I knew Joe Biden.
Yeah, exactly. I would go somewhere else too. Exactly. And yeah. All right. Take care. Good morning. You're on the radio. Good morning, caller. You're on the radio.
In the first or second meeting with the public, someone asked about a metal detector. The response was maybe the order, not the exact words, maybe they thought it was too expensive.
What are you talking about, a metal detector? I'm a little lost. Your comments are out of context.
Either the first or second meeting with the public, a person asked the question, what about a metal detector?
Oh, at the school?
The response was, I heard it, maybe they thought it would be too expensive.
I don't. He's hearing things that weren't talked about. No one talked about a metal detector. I'll tell you what, though. If you're on hold, stand by. Now, here, what are you? About a week and a half since GoPro came out and trimmed your tree, Steve? Yeah, and we were talking last week on the show about GoPro, which is they are professional landscapers and professional tree trimmers, and I think most people think that trees, it's growing, you just cut off the branches. Anybody can do that. If you ever go to a fancy hotel, a beautiful resort, or like Walt Disney World, what they do is a little different than that. They don't just cut off branches randomly like they don't know what they're doing. What they do is they sculpt a look for perfect curb appeal. And you guys know what kind of look I'm talking about. And at GoPro, they understand how to trim each type of tree, because whatever tree it is requires a different type of trim. But they trim the tree in a way, I call it sculpting. I don't know what the professional word would be. They don't just cut off branches. They sculpt the tree in a way that when it starts to grow back, it grows back in an appealing curb appeal way that will just blow your mind away. And Steve's house is certainly a testament to that. No matter what, if you have a residential property, you have commercial property, you have a condo, whatever you have, give them a call. They come very highly recommended, by the way, GoPro. Steve and I found them through a friend of Steve's that you've been friends with for about 20 years, Steve, right? A retired police officer friend of ours who highly recommended them, and wow, I was really blown away. And I'm going to give you their phone number for GoPro. It is 954-680-7739. Talk to Nathan. He's the owner. 954-680-7739 for GoPro. All right, let's go back to the phones. There's one opening on the board. I'm taking these calls at random. I don't know who's on hold or who's on first or what's on second. Good morning. You're on the air.
Bob from Deerfield.
Yeah, Bob, you're up.
Real quick, there's one aspect. I think they made a report that he called 911, the father, said the gun was missing. Correct?
I hadn't heard that.
Okay, so the father tried to stop it, is what you're telling me.
Said the gun was missing. He thinks his son has it.
Hey, hold on.
That's out there.
Put 'em on.
If
You can
that's
do that
true,
easily,
there's
just on
a
the top.
record of it. But if it is true, he's in the meeting with the school and the kids there, and what made him think of that? When he gets home, why wouldn't it be in his head when he's in the meeting to look in the backpack?
Well, I don't know. We'll find out when we get some discovery.
First of all, if I ever had a kid as whacked out as this kid was, I'd like to think that I would know better than to buy him a gun. I'd like to think that.
And lock it up.
But as I said, parents. Sometimes parents are in denial about their kids. They don't see things clearly. That's why the school, who apparently knew all this stuff, should have intervened. Hey, caller, thanks for calling. Appreciate the call. It's time for the first gold and precious metals report of the week, Steve. On the line, we have from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca, we have William Youngerman. William Youngerman, good morning.
Good morning, Brian.
Great. How the metals looking this week?
We saw them close out Friday up $13.70 on gold. That was closing at $1,782.60. Silver closed up 15 cents on Friday at $22.51 the ounce. Platinum was down $6 at $930, and palladium was up $34 at $1,750. This morning we see gold at $1,781 right now. That's down $1.60. But overnight we saw it trade from 1776 to 1788. Silver down 16 cents right now at $22.35, while platinum is up $5 at $935, and palladium is down $50 at $1,700. So over the weekend we saw a huge drop in Bitcoin, dropping some 20%, getting down at one point to about $42,000. Now understand, a few weeks ago, we saw Bitcoin up at around $70,000. So anybody who thinks Bitcoin is the store of value that you want to call your financial insurance policy, I dare to say that you could have.
Yeah.
We've got gold at, like I said, $1,781 an ounce.
Yeah, it's amazing. I have all these Chuck E. Cheese tokens. I've been trying to get Steve to start a new crypto. We'll call it Kane Coin, and I think we'll sell them for $65,000 each, Steve. How's that sound? It's based on nothing. William Youngerman, the other day, Steve and we got a call on the air from a listener who told us a fantastic story about you. We talk sometimes, because we're in holiday season, that you have great jewelry and things over there that you sell at pretty much about the cost of the metal. A guy called us up on the air last week. He bought a ring from you for $400, and he saw it for sale at a jewelry shop for $1,800, the exact same ring. So can you tell people, we're in Christmas shopping season, what type of things do you have over there people can purchase as Christmas gifts?
We have just about everything. We've got beautiful rings, necklaces, jewelry, earrings, bracelets, just about anything made out of the precious metals. We've got it, and as you said, we sell it for pretty much click right on the gold and silver values, and they're at wholesale levels easily for everybody to participate and save big savings.
And that's also a store of wealth, right? I mean, but it's something you can wear and enjoy. All right. Well, William Youngerman Incorporated, they're right here in Boca. They open up weekdays at 10 a.m. They're located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road on the first floor of the Bank of America building, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. Online, williamyoungerman.com, or give them a call. And if you have any questions about any of the things you hear William Youngerman discuss with us each morning, give them a call. They'll help you right over the phone. 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we will talk tomorrow. All right, Steve, you want to go back to these calls that are taking me to the woodshed for 2 hours?
All right.
All right, let's go. Good morning, you're on the radio. Good morning. Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Arturo from Boca.
Hey, Arturo.
Hi, Brian. As far as the parents, let's say that the situation was a little different, and I decided to buy a gun for a friend of mine, and I know my friend is maybe having a little, emotional issues, maybe has a little bit of aggression issues, and then he goes out and kills someone. Am I responsible for his actions?
Well, yeah, that you've committed a crime. That's called a straw purchase. You're not allowed to buy guns for other people. That's a crime.
Correct. I broke the straw purchase, but here's the thing: am I responsible for like?
Yeah, you would have certainly some criminal responsibility because you committed a federal crime with the straw purchase. Absolutely, yes.
The straw purchase is one thing. I'm going back to, would I be responsible for, would I be charged with murder, though?
You might be charged with manslaughter. If you bought a gun for another person, that is illegal, and that's a major felony. It's a straw purchase. So yeah, correct. But the father didn't buy the gun. The father bought the gun for himself. You have to be 21 years old to own a handgun. You have to be 21 to own a handgun, Steve.
Birthday present.
He would let his son maybe borrow it if they went shooting, but he didn't buy. I don't think he bought a gun and said, "Here you go, kid, take it to school." Come on.
It was a birthday present.
I don't think he bought him a gun and said, "Here you go, go to school."
And if he did? And if he did,
well, if they prove he did that, if that means the father was involved in a conspiracy of the school shooting, and there's responsibility. Yes.
Well, and I think that's it. I think if they find gross negligence here, and the father did buy a minor a firearm, and parents might be in denial and want the best for their kids, but they also know when the kids are having issues, Brian. I mean, I'm a parent of 2 kids, and I know when my kids are having issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm as pro Second Amendment as they come. I have firearms, and I keep them locked up in a safe. And my kids have never showed interest in firearms, and I'm not going to push that interest on them. And I would never show them firearms unless they are old enough and mature enough and showed an interest.
Well, I've talked about this many times. I've had guns since I was 12. I didn't really own the gun, but my dad let me use it when we went hunting or went shooting. You know, that's a common thing. I mean, I've been to the gun range with my daughter, when she was in high school. And Steve and I remember Steve's nanny was, she had a nephew in town once from England, and he was 16 at the time, and he'd never shot a gun because he's from England. Steve and I took him to the gun range. I mean, that's a normal thing, and it's legal.
Yeah, I agree that's a normal thing, and that's legal, and that's fine. But here's the thing, though. And in most cases, I would not find parents responsible
Steve
for the
Kane
actions
Show.
of their children. However, if it's
Hey, Anita.
that this father did buy a firearm for the kid for his birthday, I think you're going to find that the state's going to have a case against the dad here, knowing that the kid was emotionally unstable and having problems at school. That's acting.
I think when all the facts come out on this, you're going to find that this whole family is involved in major dysfunction, and this kid was a psycho. I mean, he was a psycho. When you start hearing voices telling you to kill people, that's when you know it's time to get help.
Well,
it's definitely time not to send him.
Well, I am. When the facts come out, I am willing to take a strong position against the parents and in favor of them being arrested. But they're not all out yet. And so far as mental illness is concerned, mental illness often runs in families, and indeed one of the parents, or maybe even both, could suffer from mental illness as well. I don't know.
All of them are nuts.
Okay. Hey, caller. Thanks for calling. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
My name's Jim. I'm in Cincinnati. Good morning.
Hey, Jim.
Great show. I did watch a lot of that this weekend. A couple things that haven't been mentioned. One is the defense lawyers did stand straight up and say there was a lock, and that if there is a lock on the gun, and they prove that later, the parents cannot be held responsible for the...
Yeah, I heard that too, that the gun, I'm not sure if it was locked up or had a lock on the trigger, but I have heard that the gun was locked up. You heard trigger lock. Okay, yeah, so I've heard that too.
Leads to what Brian was saying, where how do you control the car, the family car, or have response?
Yeah. So let's slow down for a second here. So let's slow down there. So if the gun was locked up, Steve, would that take some responsibility away from the parents? Okay. Caller, you got to be. I'll let you make one more point, but be quick because we got to move on.
There were the lawyers have shown that there were death threats against the people, and that's why they didn't just show up.
Yeah, of course. They were in hiding. Yeah, their lives are in danger. The press are out to smear them. I think it makes total sense that they take a couple bucks out of the bank and go hide out from the media.
Well, if it's the argument of the defense attorney, it must be right.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Cincinnati, thanks for the call. We got to run, but feel free to call back another time. All right, it is time, Steve, to check in with Anita, the A in AJ's. The A is Anita, the J is Janet Cimarelli from AJ's Natural Wellness Shop at the Festival Marketplace in Pompano. Anita, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
We're not doing too good. We're a little dysfunctional here on the Steve Kane Show today, but that's okay. That makes the show more interesting.
Well, I just wanted to let everybody know that with Thanksgiving and Hanukkah meals now literally under our belts, some of us already started packing on the pounds, and we still have weeks left before being bombarded with more holiday treats and feasts. And at AJ's Natural Shop, we have effective supplements to help you keep your appetite in check through these holidays. We also have targeted enzymes to help people who have trouble with gluten or dairy. That way, if they can't resist that favorite dish, you don't have to suffer. You can take an enzyme to help digest or combat those sensitivities.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah, especially if you have to have that favorite cookie and you know that you are gluten intolerant. Take the gluten enzyme, eat your cookie, enjoy it. And if you have gone overboard and you've eaten too much, we of course have Diet 8 to help take off those extra pounds. And we always have Janet Cimarelli available to sit down for free counseling to help you get back on track with your diet as well.
Yeah, and AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace, everyone knows the Festival Marketplace. The festival is just immediately east of the Turnpike on the south side of Sample Road in Pompano. And Anita and Janet, it's the perfect combination because, Janet Cimarelli is a licensed nutrition counselor, probably the most well-known in the nutraceutical industry in South Florida. And Anita comes from the supply side of the vitamin industry, which enables her to get incredible deals on all the products they carry, which of course they pass on to you, the customer. You can call over there if you want to make an appointment to meet with Janet Cimarelli for counseling, or you want to order and have them shipped to you elsewhere. 954-317-1851, 954-317-1851. And Anita, I'll let you tell people how to find you once people arrive at the festival. What's the best way to find AJ's Natural?
Just come through the main entrance, right at the center of the mall. You walk down toward the food court about 3 rows, hang a right. We're 3 booths down on the right.
All right.
Little signs that say vitamins.
Yeah, you can't miss it. You can't miss it. All right, Anita, have a great day, and we'll talk next time. All right. Well, we are winding down for today. It's been an exciting day, I must say. Show's flown by, Steve. No doubt about that. All right. Well, you want to sign us off? It is that time. Yes.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting.
All right, guys. Hey, listen, thanks for watching. Make sure you like the video before you go. If you're new, subscribe. Click that notification bell, and I'll see you soon, guys. All right? Take care.